Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friendly Fire Games Exploration Show. My name is Tyler, and I will be your host for this exploration on Asobo Studios' A Plague Tale Requiem, the follow up to the 2019 smash hit, A Plague Tale Innocence. But I'm not alone. I'm joined by my three trusty co hosts, Chris,
Hello.
Ryan,
Good evening or day, everybody.
and Tom.
We're back, a dinosaur story.
We're
Right, that's the
back,
name of that movie.
baby.
I never watched that movie, but it is a movie.
All right. So most of you probably already know the deal. We used to be Spelunkers, then we changed our name, but we're doing the same thing. So let's just jump right in with our initial thoughts and impressions on the first 8 chapters of A Plague Tale Requiem. Chris.
Is very good. The first couple chapters were a little rough. You don't really have tools. You barely see rats until like near the end of chapter two. Which the best parts of the game are still like the rat puzzles, moving light around and stuff like that. The actual like I don't know enemy encounters are fine. They're not like my favorite part. When they mix the rats and the enemy encounters, that gets interesting. But just when you're just stealthing around enemies, the stuff's not super great. The story's good so far. Definitely, it's still developing. They're introducing a lot of characters towards the end of our playtime here, and I'm very interested to see where it goes. They especially, I mean, where we left off was a pretty big kind of cliffhanger in a few ways. But yeah, overall, really like it.
All right. Ryan.
Yeah, ditto what Chris said. I've really been enjoying the first 8 chapters of this game. It's nice to come back. The first couple chapters, yes, were a little bit rough as you're, expanding your arsenal again and getting those upgrades and, more tools being given to you. And yeah, that cliffhanger. Oh boy. I'm very excited to see what happens in these. I'm excited to see who they kill off. I'm figuring 80% of the new people we just met. But
Everyone is doomed in this world. So
except for
all,
Amicia and Hugo.
yeah, it's all bad for everybody. Tom, what are you thinking?
I don't think that. I think they're gonna kill off one of them. I think Amicia or Hugo's gonna die. Definitely think one of them's going down. It's very starting it reminded me why I liked the other one, but hand in hand, I know Steven in our Discord had said like I'm not against the game at all, but it seems it's not as exciting as the first one was when I played it.
You think that's just because you kind of know the shtick of it, like you've
Yeah, and I
done
mean it is
this
like
whole song and
everything's
dance
like
before?
very just like yes, this feels very similar, but like the set pieces and the story and the score, like the music is very very good, but I'm very ho hum on the mechanics again. I
Yeah,
did like them the first time around, but it's just kind of like, they're okay.
yeah. I feel like I'm kind of in the same camp as everybody here. It's very much more of the same, which is not a bad thing because the what we got originally in the first one was very good. And I mean, I'm here for the story. I want to see where the story goes because that is what is the most compelling. The gameplay, it was good in the first one, and I mean, it seems like as far as logistically that carried over, and you're doing very much the same thing, and that feels just about the same. So it's still good gameplay wise, but it's not differentiating a whole bunch. There are a couple new mechanics that they've thrown in that I have really enjoyed, um, but overall, yeah, it's more of the same. It's not bad.
That's not bad. I don't take anything away from it. I mean, like it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just having played the first one, and it's just very similar to that. Just I mean, as most sequels usually are. Like obviously, you play fucking Gears of War, you're fucking running,
Yeah.
going under cover, and fucking shooting. But yeah,
Yep.
I think the story score and like just the set pieces. The only thing that really pisses me off in this one is the fucking reverse chase camera. I don't know why they failed to need. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see all the rats coming at you, but it's like I can't fucking see anything. Like, oh, let's just get stuck on this fucking pillar. Oh, good. I knew that was there.
Yeah, it was a very Uncharted like scene,
I mean, it only happens
and
what 2 or 3 times I think so far. But
I think
each
twice.
time I was like,
Yeah.
this definitely is not something that I'm a fan of. I mean, I
But
understand it
that
the way you're
set piece
doing it,
though
yes,
was
but
fucking awesome. I mean, it was so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel they
Um,
could have just made it a fucking like little, video. Like you didn't have to fucking run. Like they could have made it.
I don't know. I like
I like
being able to
control,
control the character. It gives you agency in that situation. That feels good. I
At the
like
There's
that.
same time,
there's an agency in that situation. Like it's just like,
You
okay,
could
you're
stop
kind of
running and
running
die.
closer.
I mean,
Well, yeah.
uh,
Well, who's gonna fucking do that?
yeah, I will say when they give you
anybody.
control in something like that, when you do inevitably die on accident or whatever, it just takes a lot of momentum out of it when it reloads you at a checkpoint and you're like, well, I just ran through this, but I'll run through it again,
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, let's get into the story proper. One of the things that is actually kind of annoying is they didn't give you a preamble to what happened in the first one, which I really thought that they were going to be like previously on or something. To kind of, if you forgot and haven't like played it recently, that they would have that filler in there to catch you up to speed, but
Yeah.
we didn't get it. So
Yeah. So if
I
you're coming
honestly
into
kind of
this
I
fucking,
forgot a couple of things,
yeah.
going into
Same.
this, like where they were headed. So uh apparently they were headed with their mom and Lucas to go
Well, that
find
much
the
I
rest.
remembered.
I did not. Totally forgot that the mom came back into the story.
No, the
So,
thing that bothered me is I couldn't remember that damn fucking the blacksmith kid that you lose at the end of the first one. That was like the
oh,
worst loss.
yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Yeah, I know he's
Alright,
dead, but I couldn't remember his name. It was pissing me off. I was like, yeah, oh well, I'll move on.
But so you're with your mom and Lucas, and you're trying to find the rest of the Alchemist Society, and you start on chapter one, which is Under a New Sun, and it opens up in a kingdom in France in 1349. Did you guys catch the name of this place that you're at?
No,
Or it just says the Kingdom of France, right? Because
I think
that's
just
all I saw. I
I didn't
thought I
even know
saw
it
it
said
come across
that.
the screen. Okay, well, it does say that.
Does it say? Does it say in like the top left corner too when you start? Lucas is a little bitch because that's all I thought the entire time.
Yeah, it does actually. It says it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
right
it's
there.
Good.
actually the watermark for the entire time that he's
Yeah.
in this section.
Because he is. He's a
Uh,
little bitch.
but Hugo and Amicia, they're running from Lucas, who is pretending to be a wizard. There's a lot of playful banter going back and forth between Amicia, Lucas, and Hugo right here. It's a lot of tutorials, just movement tutorials and shit like that to get you up to speed. Yes, Tom?
I like how the storytelling from the first one where they were making up their names
Yeah, it
carries
carried
over.
over.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
so
enjoyed
like
that.
Amicia, she used to call herself Amicia the Amazon in the
Hmm.
first game, and that carried over. And then that was one of the things I noticed too. That was like, yeah, they're remembering their own story, which is nice. They didn't let that stuff go. And it was also a nice reminder of why I like the first game. Is I love their interaction. That was what drove me through the entire first game. Is I love the way that Amicia interacts with Hugo, and they've really expanded upon that. You can already tell like they have such a stronger bond from the things that they went through in the first one, that like even up front, like they're sitting there playing around and stuff, but you can kind of tell that she's still in charge of the whole situation, and
Currently.
really in control of Hugo and making sure that he's taken care of, and that was cool.
Yeah. I also like the tutorial here that's just like hide and seek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, remember how to fucking hide and jump over walls and shit? Yeah, let's play hide and seek.
But Lucas goes back, and Hugo and Amicia, they go along the river or creek bed, and they're pretending to sink these battleships that Hugo is sending down the stream. And then this tiny little shit shows up named Tonin, and he's helping you. And this is where you do the sling tutorial. You're knocking these boats down or whatever. I don't even
They're
know.
like pine cones or something. I
Yeah,
think.
they're pine cones, and you guys are throwing rocks at him to try to sink it, but it's really just a tutorial for the sling again, which again feels good to throw. Feels good slinging rocks. So then uh done playing and Tonin goes away. He's like, they want him to play. My dogs are fighting, apparently. But they're wanting him to play more, and he's like, I gotta fucking go. I gotta get out of here. And
I got a
so
I
job.
gotta go to work. Yeah, he said he's got a job.
yeah, it's like child labor, I guess.
No child labor
Um,
laws in the 1500s.
That's
Mm.
right. 1300, sir.
Yep.
Math.
So Amicia and Hugo keep exploring, and they find like this abandoned castle-like structure, and they make their way through. And there's a bunch of burnt beehives all over the place, and there's dead bodies and blood and all of a sudden, a guy in like a weird beekeeper suit wants to come out and kill all these fucking kids. I was like, what is happening? Like, we're 10 minutes into this thing, and people are like, I gotta kill these fucking kids right now. I was like, are you kidding me?
Trespassing.
I
I thought they were
guess
thieves. Yeah, didn't they? Didn't they were trying to
they
steal their
thought that they were
shit?
responsible for the destruction and stuff that had happened on the property.
But no, I
And
think
that,
they were just thieves because I think they were
well,
responsible for the destruction.
there were
Yeah.
people that were killed or whatever, and they said, did you do this? They're the ones that did this. We have to get them.
Oh, I thought they were accusing them of stealing their shit because they were the bee peoples.
Either way, they're bad people.
Either way, it doesn't really matter within 5 minutes because you forget who the fuck
Yeah.
they even were and don't even care anymore.
So, and it's basically an entire family of weird dudes trying to kill these kids for trespassing and sneaking through their area. They stop to help Tonin, who is getting choked by his brother or someone in his family, who realizes that like they know that he found these kids that he ran into Amicia and Hugo, and he approves that for a little kid, or Amicia approves right here that for a little kid, she's like kind of a super bad bitch because like she attacks the dude to stop him, and it's like right back to where the first one left off, where she's just like gung ho getting in there and getting her hands dirty. Um, but then Hugo gets hit and blacks out, and as he blacks out, you hear him call the rats, and then this really weird dream sequence happens, which is going to be setting up the rest of the story going forward, basically, and what the MacGuffin of the game is, which is this
You gotta find
section.
Dumbledore.
That's right.
Follow the
Uh,
Phoenix.
Fox. Yep. So Hugo wakes up on this beach alone, and there's a phoenix in the distance sitting on a boat, and he keeps going, "Mummy, mummy." He just keeps calling out for his mom. So you follow this phoenix, and he the whole time he's like, "I'm dying," and you're like, "God damn, kid, calm down." Because it's like, again, we're not that far into this, and like these people are trying to kill these kids, and then Hugo's like, "I'm dying," and you're like, "You're killing me. You're killing my spirits right now." Uh, but he has a vision of this place, and this phoenix like brings him to this pool of water, basically, and he feels like he's dying, and all the darkness is closing him around him, and he gets to the water, and it's like a healing spring, basically, and he wakes up, and that's when you find out that he's been having this dream. He brings it up that this has been a common occurrence, and they kind of just keep blowing it off, and they're like, "Oh, it's just a dream. Don't worry about it." But as they're moving along, they're back with the mom, and Lucas at this point. Amicia has gotten them out of that situation. And they actually end up getting caught by the family members again, and they're attacked. And Amicia is separated from the rest of the family and tossed down a hill where she has to hide and find her sling because her sling was taken off of the cart or lost. And these people actually end up setting the fields on fire and try to smoke her out, and she has to get her way through these smoking fields and through all these people, and the slaughter begins at this point. You have your sling back, you're making your way through, and you just start slinging rocks, bitch. As I wrote here in all caps, sling them rocks, bitch.
Oh, I don't think I killed anybody here. I just snuck through.
Oh man, it was all about killing them because they all sucked. I didn't want any of them to live.
It was just
There
faster
are
than
shitty
not
people.
killing them.
They're terrible people.
Yeah, I play this game like I play all stealth games. I am as sneaky as I can be, and if I get caught, then I'll try to fight my way out. But
Correct.
Oh,
typically
this
in this
one's
game, that ends up being reloading for me.
yeah. Usually, this is if you get in trouble, just fucking run to the door. Because as soon as you hit
Yeah.
that door, they're fucking stopped anyway.
Yeah,
It
but if
doesn't
there's
matter.
somebody close enough, it'll tell you you can't open that door, and because like some guy will chuck a spear into it every time you try to open it or whatever.
No, I've
Yeah,
never
I've,
had
I've
that
been killed
happen.
opening a door twice, I think.
Just a melee guy. If he was right next, that's the only time it happened. Otherwise, I just fucking will run in a circle and then run back, and there's not anybody close enough. The door will open.
And
I had a
I
few of
had a
those
note
oh shit moments.
I had a note here because I didn't mention it previously when you are confronted by the family the first time, but at one point, Amicia gets tackled when she attacks the guy that's on top of Tonin, and he's choking her. And there is the exact same choking animation happening in this scene. She gets caught again, and it's the exact same like verbatim scene. just with a different character skin on top of her than the first guy that choked her. And I was like, this is weird. And
Yeah,
I
for as
was
good as Amicia's interactions is with a lot of these people, like she also has a lot of fucking stupid ass lines that make no sense.
yeah.
I mean, they make sense, but it just makes her seem like a dumb person. Like, oh
Yeah,
no,
I
the
think
rats are here again. No shit. That's like the entire first game. Well, so what? You
Ooh,
spend like a
she
year,
says
lady? Rats.
we haven't got there yet, but she does say they're here too a lot. And yeah, they're everywhere. I think we've established that, lady. Stop saying it over and over.
Since we're talking about it, I don't understand why she's so surprised when rats fucking climb up something. How did they get up there?
yeah, I don't I
They
think
climbed up the goddamn wood. What the fuck? They're
I,
rats.
in terms of like referring back to the first game, I don't think they could climb things in the first game is what's happening there. But yeah, they're rats. Like rats climb shit. That's a normal thing. Just in the first game, they probably didn't have the tech to do that or the
And
need to do that.
they make a comment later on about it, about the rats and how they're acting, but we'll get to that when we get
Still
to
just
that
seems
chapter.
like a dumb thing to think like, oh, you see a bird flying. How's he fucking doing that? Amazing.
It's
Fucking wings.
the 1300s, man. They don't know. They're still shitting in holes in the ground.
I
Or
suppose
whatever.
she's
You know
probably
what I
inbred
mean?
anyway, so that's like Hugo's probably her dad as well as her brother.
That's right.
How's that math
Her,
work?
her sister, daddy, brother. That's what she is.
Spoiler.
But she makes her way through, and this scene's very super cool with like the fire spreading through the fields and you running through and all that. But you do eventually get reunited back with everybody else, and then that chapter ends and starts chapter 2. Is newcomers, and it opens up on this new city, which I did not get the name of. I don't know if you guys did. I think it was Alris,
It's all
uh,
right.
Arles, maybe.
That sounds
Charles.
right. McGregor.
But you get there with your mom and Lucas to meet with the alchemists who are going to investigate the mecula inside of Hugo and figure out what the fuck is up with this kid.
The
Um,
Mecula.
They're gonna look
Oh.
inside Hugo, all right? Just
that's right. They're going to give him a 1300s colonoscopy.
which if you don't know how that works, you make a triangle with your hands like this up against it.
That's right.
And look.
But
Hugo, mummy.
we
Mummy?
get into here, and there's a fair, which this section's great because who
Holy
doesn't
shit,
love
they're having an
exploring?
affair. See, I told you something was
That's right. But
Yeah.
I have a note written down here. I don't remember. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I love the dichotomy of the section of walking through with Hugo.
Yeah.
Everything's happy-go-lucky. You get flowers. You play the pot game if you found that. There's probably other things that I didn't even see.
No, it's not the pot game. This one's the toys. Don't you gotta knock down the
It's
blocks?
you got to knock down the
Uh,
blocks
Well,
on this
I
one.
guess you throw pots.
You throw pots,
You're,
yeah.
s- you're
that's-
spoiling the second
The
fair.
pot,
all right.
the pot,
There's a
yeah,
second-
that's great. How there's a second fair that's basically the same in a different city, and it's like
Except
I
the
really
other one
like
has
fairs this
weird
time. I don't know.
Yeah,
There was a fair
Um,
in the first one, I believe, as well. Where
that sounds right. Yeah, I think at the very end, right?
yeah, it was close
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. But yeah, the dichotomy of doing that and then like when you leave Hugo at the house and he's sick and you're going off, like just the music change alone, like the town is still more or less the same until you get to the Coliseum, but the music is like really dark and there's like this
Oh, yeah.
tuba in the background going wah wah.
Yeah, it's
like
super
something's going
ominous.
wrong.
Yeah, I still like
then-
the scores in this, like just the whatever is it like a cello with just the strings, the very
Yeah.
low.
Yep.
When you get into like a weird tense vibrational scene. Also, I like the little thing, like if you're hiding with Amicia and somebody's getting closer, like she starts breathing like heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as they walk away, she kind of just slows down.
Yeah,
Nice
she breathes
little-
heavy and there's like I don't know if it's like a violin screeching kind of
Yeah,
as
Yes,
enemies
yeah.
get close.
violin, cello. I don't know, a stringed instrument of some sort.
But I love when you are in these like world building sections like this, where it's just like, here are the townspeople, and this is what they're doing. Because like I feel like what Asobo is really good at are these like fucking interiors and stuff, where like they have so much detail in here. Like there's a fire breather. There's the game. At one point, somebody is talking to Hugo and Amicia, and about their dad or something. He goes, "He's dead." Just
I
Yeah.
think
like,
was that
eh,
that was the flower lady, wasn't it?
yeah, Yeah, the herbalist's wife.
Yeah.
But all the fair interactions are great. And like Amicia picks up Hugo at one point so he can see the musicians, and you can like watch the fire breather, like I said earlier. And I believe at
Doesn't he
one
call him
point
like
there's
the
a
Dragon Man or something?
yeah, and then there's a goose that runs past at one point. And he goes, "Oh, goose!" And just like he does that again later, and it's just like he's just such a little kid. It just makes you happy because this kid goes through some fucked up shit.
Yeah, at this point, Hugo is the impression that basically the rat plague is over. We're kind of under that impression too, based on the ending of the last game. Although obviously, if you've watched any trailer or know anything about the game, you're like, yeah, the
Yeah,
rats are back. But
and maybe that's why later on Amicia is so shocked at how not over it is,
yeah,
how very much they are still in the thick of it.
Well, yeah, but
Uh,
except right now, like the macula's already coming back. Like he's already got the fucking veins coming up. Like
yeah,
the
yep.
rats obviously came back when he passed out in the beginning and had his dream.
Which is why they go back to the house because Hugo starts to get really tired, and so Amicia takes him back to the house. But he falls asleep, and he ends up actually having a nightmare, and he finds out that the macula is returned and is spreading throughout his body. And then you also find out that Amicia is starting to have PTSD episodes where she stares off into the distance and like hears herself screaming when she's like killing people. Really cool how they started to play into that and how like this world has been affecting her on a mental level because she has been through some shit. Um, but the mom tells them that they have to go find Magister Vaudin. He's in the town, so you head into the town and you do some fetch questy type shit here. We got to go talk to this person, go talk to that person, and they tell you, oh, you need to go to the Coliseum. So you make your way to the Coliseum, and this is when it immediately takes a fucking turn because you
Dead
find out
people.
that the Coliseum's full of dead people, and that the plague is still there, and the bite has infested this town, and Hugo may have caused it, or
yeah,
someone has brought it with them. Is the thing that is stated by Amicia that they're not sure how it got
yeah. So the plague has like just arrived because previously it was only in how do you say that now? That there
here.
where the first
Gien,
game was Gruyere. Oh, Gruyere. Has
Gien.
an R in it, doesn't it? I don't know. Gien.
No, it's
Ian.
Guyenne. They pronounce it Guyen, but it's Gien.
Guyenne. Okay. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's the only place that it was, and I guess the whole thing like comes from Hugo and the macula. So it
Yeah,
is,
it's
he
following.
used his powers here to save Amicia earlier, and that's kind of the catalyst for the entire game. Although, from what Vadan was saying, it sounds like, Hugo was just suppressed at the first threshold or whatever, so it was gonna come up either way, most likely. Just came up
Yeah,
sooner.
Yeah, this
but there
vista
are
too when you enter this arena is fucking fantastic. Like you're just standing on that area, just looking out over the whole thing.
oh yeah,
Very
and then you
nice. Very
jump down
moody.
into it, jump down right into the thick of it.
Oh, that's a little different. But yes.
But there are soldiers all around questioning people who are still alive within the arena. Um, I thought about Vodan. It seemed like they were also looking for him, which was weird. I
Yes.
didn't understand what that was about. I guess because he's the area's alchemist. Um, but there's lots of dead bodies through here, and as you make your way through the Coliseum, you're kind of dodging soldiers and stuff, and that leads to a whole nother part of the town which is completely fucked. And you have to cross the town basically to get to this tower because Lucas sees this symbol on top of the tower, and he's confident that's where Vodan is. Which I don't know how. They're just we know that's
It's the
supposedly
symbol of the whatever the fuck they're
The
called.
order.
The
yeah
order,
the
yeah.
Order of Alchemy, and it's a bunch of triangles.
No,
How
it's
about
not.
that?
It's a circle with like a dingle ball.
No, it was big triangle, and it was a triangle in a circle, and had two other triangles in it, I believe. Uh, but you make
There's a
your way through.
section. There's
Go
a
ahead.
second. The first time you get a knife, this is just a classic video game thing that I like. It's like the knife is stuck in a board in front of the thing you clearly need to crawl under, just to make sure you cannot miss this first knife. You have to grab it, and then it just falls on. Like,
Yeah, Which I don't remember. Were knives in the first one?
No.
I don't think so. No, it's
Yeah.
very similar to shivs in The Last of Us. It's like
Yeah.
a one-time save yourself thing, but also it's a key, like in The Last of Us.
Yeah, that you can use to unlock the what do you even call those now? I don't
Craft a
remember.
bench.
Crafting tables. Thank you.
Yeah, but I don't need those anymore because that was literally the first thing I upgraded was all of the bottom stuff. So now I just have an unbreakable tool. I
Same.
can just do whatever the fuck I want as long as I got materials.
I didn't
Calls
do that. I should have done it.
setting yourself up for the future, baby.
Yeah.
Because I think the very first upgrade on that is like you get pieces for finding excess of
Yeah,
certain
you can
items.
recycle. Yeah, the recycling tool or whatever.
Yup.
Tyler's now realizing that he
No,
fucked up.
I have the recycling stuff. I didn't realize that the third one because I was
Yeah.
just like, I'm gonna upgrade that sling, baby. Like I gotta kill some bitches. I gotta
Yeah,
do
to
it
be fair,
quietly.
I think the recycling one is the most important. Like at this point in the game, because what is the middle upgrade? I don't remember. I remember I didn't really care about it. You can upgrade anywhere, right? That's what the middle one is. I think.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
need the table. And then the last one is the unbreakable tool, so you don't have to find tools anymore. So anytime you find a tool, you just recycle it to parts.
Yeah, which
That seems
I
pretty
think it's-
important.
I think it's only
Yeah.
worth one part, maybe 5 parts. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
nothing's really worth a lot of parts.
I know
like
that
when you
the
recycle.
arrows are worth 1 and the pots are worth 1. So, but
yeah,
you need a
the-
shit ton of pieces to upgrade stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
the high
That's
end. It's like 90 something.
yeah. That's the thing is like it depends on if by the end of the game I feel like that investment is worth it. I'm always like, I'll invest in whatever's going to be best for the future, but it doesn't seem like so far because we're halfway through the game. I have those 3 upgrades, and then I have like maybe 1 or 2 more because of just the piece limits. But I wasted like 140 pieces, I think, on the second and third upgrade in that tree, plus 5 tools that I could use for other upgrades. So I don't know if it's going to work out to where it's, efficient actually, but it feels efficient.
I mean, I don't feel like I'm behind any because I haven't upgraded that sling
I think I
past
have
the first
5
one. I don't think.
upgrades. I have the 4 in every. I have 1 in every slot, and then a second one for the sling.
And I haven't had any
man.
problems not
No
having enough
specialized.
materials or pots or anything, so I don't really care that. Oh, I get to carry a little more of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5. I didn't upgrade.
I did upgrade the crossbow.
I also did.
Mostly because I mean, I always look forward in the skill tree. I just want to be able to pull my crossbow arrows back at guys after I kill them, which I think is the
didn't
third
look.
upgrade.
So you get into the city area and within the Coliseum, and the rats are back, baby. Here they come.
Yeah, and
Rats
this
are
is where
back.
it happens. It's like right after this, she goes, "Oh my god, look, they're climbing." I have it written down. That's literally what she says. They're climbing. The rats, they're climbing.
And we get
Fucking
back into
goddamn
doing light
revelation.
puzzles. We're back to the fire puzzles where we got to make our way through the rats. And then we start getting some of our old alchemy tools back. We get Ignifer back in this section. Start lighting shit on fire and set those little
Yeah.
firecracker pot traps, which this doesn't make sense to me. The Ignifer, like in the pot, is like a firecracker, but then you have to use tar in a pot and then Ignifer to
Well, that's just to
set
make a big like
a massive
spread
area
flame.
of fire.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. It's alchemy, man. You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, he
That
does.
is
right.
Remember, this is where it came about.
Wait,
Show it. Show it.
Well, it's a
This is where
Triforce,
it
man.
started.
I got the Triforce now.
But this is where it
Um,
started.
This is where it started. Actually, I don't think it's where it started. It
Oh,
started
well.
in
Shut
East
up.
9.
This is where it
That's
started.
fine.
Yeah, East 9.
Eat a bag of dicks, Tom.
But I do love the intro to the rats here because they there's no pretense like there was in the first game of like, oh, it's this is just the regular like French plague or whatever that actually happened, the Black Plague. Like, no, this is a wave of like magical fucking rats.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping in the beginning the fucking bees were going to be like a new twist on it, but no, it's just fucking rats again.
Now it's just the happening. They're like, the bees, man. Mark Wahlberg
bees.
comes out. He's like, the bees.
Every
Wicker
sequel,
Man.
it's
That's
a
a
new
Wicker Man.
animal.
Bees. Nicholas
Yeah,
Cage
but
is
isn't the
just
happening
there
about
with the
bees
fucking...
too?
Oh, I never watched that movie. I thought that was plants.
Oh, you're right.
That's
right.
just nature, like
Yeah.
whatever, Mother Earth killing
Yeah,
everybody.
see, Wicker Man,
Spoilers
Nicholas
for the
Cage
happening.
screaming
Wicker Man
bees.
was
That
the
movie's like
bees,
fucking 15
Yeah, I know.
years old.
And not very good either. Don't watch it.
Yeah, you're better off watching the Wicker Man. So Nicholas Cage screams bees.
True. I also
Um,
like this is something from the first game that's still here and still is very silly. Like you'll pick up torches and then you have to like leave them sitting on a wall so that you can jump
Yep.
over the wall or jump off a cliff. It's like you can toss that over, or you can hand it to Hugo, jump over,
Yeah,
he can
just
hand it
take
to
it.
or not Hugo, Lucas. Like you can take that with you. There are ways. But video games.
No, you don't have the torches yet. That's just the little sticks. The torches are later though. But I thought
I
this
think
was just sticks right now.
I think you start out with one torch that you set in the wall
Oh,
and jump
maybe.
over.
Could be.
Um, okay, where am I at here?
I feel
Oh,
like they've
Uh,
leaned on that less, though. I feel like we've only done that twice this
Yeah,
section.
it's not as common. A
It's-
lot. I
with the
mean,
torches,
the-
there's not a lot of torches in this area at all.
Yeah.
It's
No,
I
it's
only
the
remember torches
chapter
towards the end.
7, I think.
that you have
Yeah.
There's a
couple of
big
torches.
section with torches when you got the fucking what's his nuts. We'll get to
Arno.
him.
Warrior guy. I have
Oh,
his
yeah.
name somewhere in my notes.
Yeah.
but-
His name
Then
is
I had to go backtrack because I'm like, why does she know who he is? Who the fuck is this guy?
Yes, yes.
Same,
We
yeah.
I'm like, I
We'll
literally
talk
had to
about
look
that.
it up
And guess
online. I'm
what?
like,
I
oh, okay.
I still don't
How
know
am I
who he
supposed to
is.
know that?
He's the
Oh,
I still
well.
don't
Oh
know.
wow,
He's the guy that gives you the nice fucking gash on your head.
Scar.
Yeah.
Like in this section,
Well, in section 5 or whatever.
the guy that's in the
Or the-
armor.
Yeah.
Yes, the guy that beats you on the head with the hilt of his sword.
Yeah.
That's the guy that you find later. He just doesn't have a helmet on. And I'm like, am I supposed to remember fucking who this guy is?
Same.
I definitely
Because she
like,
does, but I don't. Like, you never
Well,
saw his
didn't they-
face. How the fuck do you know what he looks like?
Yeah, his armor I guess is distinct if you look back at it, but the only thing I remembered about him was that he was fully armored. I
And there was a
assumed
guy
at
chasing
the end
him,
of
yeah.
chapter 6 when you kill the fully armored dude that was him. But
That's
it was
what I thought. That was the beast, right? That the guy that they kept calling
the
the
beast. Yeah,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Arno. Although he's
No.
apparently the wall too.
Because the beast has the fucking giant flaming mace.
Okay, so the beast was the guy that we killed. So it's
The
different
beast
than
is the
Arno.
guy that just chases you off your boat later.
I can't keep
and-
track of all these armor guys.
Beats you in the fucking. That's exactly. It's like they all look
Let's
the
just-
fucking same.
We can all agree they did a bad job of explaining who
Yes,
Arno
they
was.
did. This guy
Like,
is like,
oh,
I don't fucking.
He could have been nobody. He could have just
Exactly.
been like a random dude.
That's why I
that
looked him up
saved
because I'm like,
him.
is this a son of a bitch from the first game that we should somehow
Yes,
remember that I
that's
really
what I
don't?
thought.
And I'm like,
That's what I
no,
thought.
it's not. It's not. It's from this game, and we met him, and I just don't know who the
Yeah.
fuck he is.
My notes read, "Should I know this guy?" And then several lines later, "Oh, it's the dick who scarred me."
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a couple chapters from now.
Yeah, like
Carry on.
they do. Misia does say like, this thing is a reminder of that I should kill you. So
Yeah, but I didn't know what she was talking about.
yeah. So like, okay,
That's when it clicked for me. Like, oh, okay,
I thought it was just because he was a part of the same like troop,
outfit.
like of
They
those
all the same
knights.
that fucking red and mustard colored. Great. Carry on.
Yeah, the game does a bad job.
with that particular thing. Also back from the first game, I had
Knowing that
forgotten.
rats climb, but
Yeah, I had completely forgotten about the fact that like you just knock down like corpses or dead animals or whatever, and all the rats will like swarm around and eat it, and you're just
For
like,
a long time.
okay, they're distracted by that animal forever, so I'll
Yeah.
just walk through here.
you can get close enough where they will come and hit
Yeah.
you. But
They will. That's happened
But
to
yeah,
me a
like
handful of
literally, it
times.
takes them like 5 seconds to clean the fucking flesh off a corpse, and they're chomping on this fish for a good fucking 20 minutes, so I can just jolly Santa past them.
Hey man, game's got a game.
Yeah, it's just a very video gamey thing, but
Well, if they timed
I
it,
know.
this would be a lot more difficult game and maybe more challenging puzzles. But I haven't I swore, Tyler, you said, "Oh, these puzzles are a lot more challenging."
What the fuck are you
Like
talking
a-
about? I never said that.
And I'm pretty sure it's a tweet. Hold on, you keep going, and I'm gonna go find it. So that I can prove that you
Oh, I
this.
said-
And
I
I'm
said the
like, I'm waiting
chapters
for
are a
like
lot
something
longer.
really hard to happen, and I'm like, what is going on? Tyler
No, I
lied to
just-
me.
I just
I
said
do-
that the chapters are longer than I was expecting, but that's fine.
No, that's not what you said.
There was
One
one
thing
that
I've got
stumped.
on this
can't
game.
find it.
There was one that stumped me for a little while, but it wound up being glitched. I had to
There
reload.
are stealth sections that I thought were hard.
Those are just those are kind of just dumb in general. Like the ones anything that doesn't involve the rats or like Chris said, the rats and the fucking people. Like if it's just the people, it's kind of just dumb.
So
Yeah.
like this. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was just gonna say that's the weakest part of the game. It fights. Like,
You were saying
So-
a puzzle was bugged for you, Ryan?
oh yes, it's later on. It's where you and Lucas are off the boat and you've got like those big cranes you're swinging back and forth.
Yep.
Yeah.
The second crate where you got to like turn it all the way around, then light it, and then run with it while it's moving. You
Oh,
jump
after you
up.
get the that's after you get the tar, isn't it? Because you got to light it with the tar
Yeah.
too, so
Yeah.
it burns
Yes.
brighter. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, actually, no. You can throw a stick to Lucas,
Yeah.
and then he'll
Yeah.
run across. I didn't have to tar anything up.
Yes.
But you
Correct.
can. It's like
You
after
can.
you get the tar, though. It's like after
Yeah,
that area.
it is
I'm just
after
trying to
the
figure
tar
out-
point. Yeah, it's like chapter 4 or 5. I can't
Tyler will
remember.
tell us
5.
when we get there.
It's the
Chapter
boat
5.
chapter. I think it's 5.
5.
Yeah, so the first time I ran across and I picked up one of those sticks, it wouldn't lock onto Lucas. I couldn't throw it at him. I sat there like 20 minutes just throwing sticks. He wouldn't catch anything.
You're like, hey, catch a stick, you fuck.
I reload the checkpoint, and then he
Idiot.
catches it immediately. I'm like, the fuck?
You know, the wand chooses the wizard, Lucas. But anyways, back to chapter 2.
Oh, wait. Here it is. It's a lot more challenging. Serious puzzle solving skills needed to get through some of these encounters, plus exploration.
Encounters. Yeah, encounters. Yeah.
You said puzzles.
Serious
It's a
puzzle
challenging-
solving skills needed
Skills
for
to get through
encounters.
encounters. You're wrong.
Whatever.
Stealth is like an encounter. Is like a puzzle. If you think
I stick with
about
what
it.
I said. Tyler lied to me on
Nah,
Twitter.
The puzzles are not hard. Just getting through some of these areas was a pain in the ass. Which I had the same problem.
Puzzles
with the
aren't
first
hard,
one.
but you need serious puzzle solving skills.
To
Yeah.
get through the encounters. Yeah, it's not
Get
the
to
same
the-
thing.
It's
Nobody will agree with you.
You're
Literally
both
no one will
right.
agree.
I think is where we're getting to.
Sure, he's wrong. That's fine.
No, I do. I
Um,
like the puzzles in this game. Technically, have multiple solutions as long as you have pots and ignifer. Like, there's a lot of places where it's like you could do this in the normal way, or you can just throw a pot with ignifer and run past a bunch of rats. Or tar with ignifer also works later.
Or the Episanguis when you get that later.
That's true.
Or-
Which that's back from the first game. I don't remember everything that was and wasn't in the first game. There was no tar in the first game.
No, there's just there was the stink that you throw at people.
Correct.
Chris?
Stink finger.
Yep. This was it.
It's after she fingers Lucas.
Stupefacio's new,
Okay.
right?
The saltpeter shit.
Yeah.
No, the
That
one
whip?
Lucas makes.
Yes. Oh yes, that's new. The
Yeah.
whip
Yes.
thing.
No,
Yeah,
that's
new.
pyrite. The Stupefatio. It's like a flashbang. Lucas makes it.
that's
You
new.
shoot it on the ballista
Yep.
to get out of the fort.
Yeah, that's a new one. That one's not.
Oh yeah.
Great
yeah,
name.
yeah.
Great name.
A lot of Harry Potter references in this.
That's right.
Dumbledore. Waiting for Patronus to show up.
So as you're making your way through these light puzzles with the rats with Lucas, and you get the Ignifer back, this is when Amici makes the comment about how the rats seem more aggressive and agile and how they can climb.
Look, they're climbing.
So this was when I wrote that tweet, Tom, since you brought it up. Is right before you get to the bell tower area, there is like a section with a bunch of fucking guards and a bunch of rats for the first time. It's like that first big open-ended section that you can kind of tackle from any direction that you want to. And it took me forever to get back in the fucking groove of how this game is supposed to be played, where it's like I could not figure out how to get past these guards, to get past these rats, to not get fucked up by one of the two, you know?
I went left,
Because
I ended up going left, yeah.
and it wasn't a problem.
I don't remember which way I went. But
didn't go left.
I mean, that is something to bring up. Is this game dealt very differently than most games? Because most games it's like, okay, you sneak up behind the guy and you push Y and then he's dead. This game, like, you maybe have one knife or two if you've upgraded that you can kill people instantly with, and later on you get the crossbow as well that you can instantly kill pretty much anybody with, not fully armored people, but everybody else. But for the most part, like, you are trying to sneak past until you have those tools later that you can just be super aggressive. I think we had somebody write in about, like, I'm just killing everybody because I can. But even then, those are, limited resources. It's not like you can sneak behind each guy and push the button and then they're all dead and then
Yeah.
you run around and collect everything.
Speaking of button pushing, having to hold X to fucking do the counter and actually do it hit is fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the
Believe
melee
you can
combat
change
is
that, though.
very unintuitive. It's not, I mean, you could argue that it's not supposed to be super intuitive, but then they have that long section at the end of chapter 3 where you have to fight a bunch of guys and it's like you're really putting a light on how not great your combat is. But
Can't you change the button prompts though in the settings?
Yeah,
to
you
just
can-
press X.
Yeah, you
I
can
don't
remove.
know. Like I fucking look at menus.
Well, that's your fault. I mean, you're complaining about it. You go change the fucking shit in your menu.
I don't know. I'm
There's
not
a-
the one that got stuck on this, and it was a very challenging puzzle solving
I
skill
didn't
getting
get
past the
stuck.
first
I made it
stealth
through,
area.
obviously.
We're back,
I
everybody.
clearly made it through. Anyways, Tom's a dick.
Bang, bang.
And we made our way to the bell tower, and then we have
Did
a
we?
bell puzzle here. Yeah, we did.
Is this a puzzle?
I
I mean,
guess.
clearly it is,
You
even though
literally-
I'm pretty sure Lucas, the little bitch,
He
tells you
just
what to
tells
do.
you exactly what to do. Yeah.
I know.
It's the one that looks like a necklace. This is the other looking triangle thing. You don't
So
know
you
your
light all this
astrological signs?
I mean, you're lighting shit on fire, and then you take this fucking elevator up, and you finally find Vodan, and
Ooh.
Vodan is like, Amicia, you're a protector, in the alchemy order, and it's your duty to be the protector of the carrier, who is your brother. That's what they
Yeah.
call Hugo. He's the carrier. And then as you and Vodan and Lucas leave, it like pans to the painting behind him. It's an ominous painting of the mountains that look very similar to what was in Lucas's or Hugo's dream.
Yeah.
And hold on,
Also,
my notes are going.
Vodan just instantly gives off bad guy vibes. Like this is not a
Oh, he's a
person you're
super
supposed to
dick.
trust.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Fine.
So then you all go and see Hugo, and that's the end of chapter 2. Chapter 3 starts called The Burden of Blood. And Hugo is not reacting well to whatever the fuck they're doing to him. Like he's having a terrible time. And he
Colonoscopy.
starts having horrible
Yeah, I mean, let's get
seizures.
real. Like, the church back in the day, there's a lot of accusations about little boys and priests, and I mean, this probably falls right along that line.
Back in the day.
Well, I mean, it continues now, but
Well, this part's so fucked up because like
Checking
her
his
mom is
oil.
just like, mom's like, we just gotta trust him. Like he's fucking your son up pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
So,
And she's
not
just
highly
like,
impressed with your mother so far in this game either. Like, I know
No,
you
she
wanted to save her
sucks.
at the end. I'm like, what the fuck? Why did we save her?
And you
Yeah.
remember in the first one, like she had no relationship with her mom because her mom was like super stuck up Hugo's ass the
bitch.
whole time with her alchemy stuff and like had nothing to do with you. Like, doesn't seem like you're missing out on much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
She's not
can
great.
you can suck Lucas's magic wand now. He's
All right.
gonna be your buddy.
All right.
But yeah, and then like later, I think it's at the end of chapter 4 when she's trying to convince Amicia that they should still go to the order. She's like, they can't all be bad men like Vodan, but it's like you were defending Vodan literally up until he died.
Yeah, hardcore. Let's see here. I lost my place. So Amicia's mom, I don't even remember her name, by the way. I'm just gonna keep calling her mom.
Yeah. Mummy.
Tells Lucas to go get Nightshade for Hugo. That should help him. And so Amicia's like, well, I can't fucking do anything. I'll just leave because she says that she just feels useless and she's just in the way.
Yeah, so you gotta
And
walk with fucking Lucas, who just constantly nags at you the whole time this chapter.
but like
Yeah.
even in this section, it's like fucked up because Amicia tells Lucas as they're leaving, she's like, because she sees what's happening to Hugo, she's like, please don't stop caring about my brother. Okay. Like, and then Lucas is kind of being a little bitch as well. He goes, caring is not enough anymore. What the fuck are you talking
And
about?
she's like,
He's just
caring is sharing, and then they did the Care Bear stare.
Yeah, it's like I get where Lucas is coming from because literally like Hugo's causing the end of the world and Vodan's supposed to be trying to fix it or whatever, which you find out isn't really going on, but I get where Lucas is coming from, but also yeah, Lucas is so annoying in this chapter. Like we have several comments from people about this chapter and what a little shit Lucas is.
I would say Lucas's like character development from 1 to 2 is
Not
really
good.
surprising. It's really surprising how much he's just like, I'm an alchemist now. I got to do everything that they say, no matter what. Like he's so bought into like this fucking cult. It's crazy.
Yeah, can we
And I
go
get
back
it,
to the
like,
first one and
he-
kill him and keep the blacksmith kid?
Or what if we killed him and like kept the other alchemist that he was like apprenticing for
Yeah.
that died in the windmill? Remember him? The old
I'd
dude.
rather have the armor from the blacksmith.
Yeah,
Also,
he
he
seems like
sacrificed himself a lot better. It was a more touching death scene.
That's true.
it. Yeah, it seems like Lucas is just kind of afraid of confrontation because like later on when you're traveling with Lucas, he's like agreeing with the things you're saying about like we need to go to the island and stuff, but then he's also at the same time saying, "Oh, but your mom's my trainer and the order can help." Like he's playing both sides and doesn't
Yeah,
really
he's
have
wishy-washy as fuck.
yeah, he doesn't really have like strong convictions either way.
Should have just killed him when we had the chance. He's gonna fucking turn us in.
But you start making your way through, and the pathway is blocked by guards and townspeople, and the townspeople are all restless because the guards won't let anybody pass, and so you have like a little section here where you have to back up and backtrack through like this butcher's shop
Oh, when
in this
Lucas falls
section.
in it, it was so awesome. I'm like,
Yeah,
yes, take that, you dirty
this
fucker.
section's real crazy because like you just jump down like the butcher's yard, and it's just where all the slaughtered pigs and carcasses are all just in this big giant heap of goo.
Dissolving.
Yep.
Yeah, and you just have to walk through it.
Lucas falls
Um,
face first. Oh, I got some in my mouth. Good.
and then you make
Alchemy
your way
that, you
up,
little bitch.
and you have to push this cart down, and it busts open a wall, and then as soon as you bust open this wall, just rats start spilling into the courtyard. And this is when you have some hanging meat. You got to hit that shit. The rats start coming, and you get the saltpeter, where you
This
can
is also where
start.
you find your first crafting bench.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah,
went to recycle.
which we've already talked a little bit about that upgrade system. You're just spending pieces and tools to get upgrades. I know Tom, you and I both went for the 3 on the bottom. Ryan, what'd you do?
I've got 2 in sling, 1 in the crossbow. What's the one below that?
Alchemy, or it's either
Yeah,
alchemy
where
or
you
like
can
your
carry
bag.
more herbal
Well,
items and then pots and shit like that. I think.
one, I guess it's alchemy, and so
Or
I
you
got
do it faster. The first one was dumb. It was like you can make them faster. It's like who fucking cares? I'm not making them in combat.
Yeah, well, that's on the other upgrade tree that we haven't talked about
Uh-uh.
yet.
maybe I
Thought it
do
was
have
that one.
6. I feel like I've
That's
got
your
2, 2,
skills.
1, and
Yeah.
1.
Okay. As long as you got that first one that gives you extra pieces when you
Yeah,
find
I
excess
got it a little
pieces of
late,
anything.
honestly, but I do have it.
Because I mean, a pot when you're already full on pots is worth 5 pieces, which is crazy.
Yeah. And there's a lot of fucking pot laying around. You
There's
know,
only
they don't
one.
like to smoke it back then, so I don't know.
It was only 1 piece for me, I thought.
Oh, really? I
Devil's
thought that was
lettuce.
giving 5.
Yeah, they do smoke.
Maybe I'm
They do
finding.
smoke a lot of
Shut the
pot in
fuck
one
up.
piece. You're right. Fucking
All
Luffy's
right.
always
Maybe I'm
right.
smoking.
Stop
Maybe.
talking
Well,
about
that's
One
neither here
Piece.
nor there.
Yeah, maybe I've been
Um,
finding bags of pieces and thinking that they're pots. I don't know. But
Try smoking them next time you find them, Chris. Just
yeah,
throw the
then
fucking whip
I'll
your
know if it's
fucking
pot or
sling
a
at it,
bag.
that's
smoke it
right.
up.
That's how that works.
I don't know what joke you're running with here, but it's not going over. So
It was
just
amazing. The
Everybody's
people-
having a good time except for you, Tyler. So
I'm having a great time.
But yeah, we should talk about the passive like upgrades. It's kind of odd. It's basically
Oh.
however you play the encounters, you get
Oh,
upgrade in
yeah.
that path.
The opportunists and the
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah, which I
Yeah.
just have one of each at this point because I'm
Oh, I
playing
think
a variety of
my
ways.
top
I'm
3,
doubled
the
up in
quiet
2
one
of them.
is fairly high. I think I'm almost the opportunist one though. Isn't the end one you can push guys off ledges? That's one part
I
of it.
don't
isn't it?
remember what they are, to be honest with you. I know I have 2 doubled up, one for the
Yeah.
alchemy stuff and one for like attacking people, and then the other one, the stealth one. I think I have the
Yeah.
first upgrade for it.
Oh yeah, mine's been mostly stealth. I haven't really killed anybody.
The first
Okay.
upgrade for the
I find
stealth
it
one I know is
infuriating and dumb unless you make that rats eat them because then it's fucking hilarious. But
yeah, the first upgrade for the stealth one I know lets you pass closer to enemies without alerting them. You can basically walk right behind them as long as you're crouched and won't alert them, which is nice.
Yep.
And then the first one for I think it's aggression lets you push enemies off cliffs or into rats. And then the first one for alchemy or whatever, opportunist, I don't know, whichever one it is what we were talking about where you can just craft stuff faster and it's kind of useless. In fact, it makes me waste materials often because I only mean to craft once and I'll accidentally craft twice.
I think the second one for that is you double up when you craft.
No, I think
So-
I think the second one's you have a chance to get a free item or not consume item when you,
That's it.
which is good, worthwhile.
Isn't there one where you double up when you craft, where you make 2?
Maybe, but I think the next
'Cause
one at least is.
I make 2 of everything when I craft.
Yeah, you always make 2 of everything. That's just default.
I'll shut the fuck up. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Have you even played this game, or you just watch like
I've
trailers?
been
and
reading IGN's
Let's
walkthrough this
play.
whole time. Anyways,
Played a chapter
you
and
come
a
across
half.
a soldier, and he's just trying to kill you, and you realize that they're shutting down all the districts and they're killing all the townspeople because they're super worried about this fucking plague and these rats. Um, and then we get some extinguish, which is what you use the saltpeter for. And I have
Tell you what I
here
use my
extinguish
saltpeter
is
for.
back. Shut the fuck up.
Kyle, you
I
should
got
have a
so many.
drink. It's more fun that way.
I got so many kids. um, so you make your way through. You exit the city with Lucas, and you see it brings up the painting in Vaudin's lab that looks like the island Hugo mentions. And then Lucas just like, whatever. And then this is when I came across my first crafting table, to which I wrote, "Crafting is back, baby. There's a workbench." And then I crafted my first thing. I don't even remember what I was. You find a guy murdered underneath the forge. As you make your way out of the town, like in the first little hut as you get out of the gates. And so you go through the doorway and you find more rats in the village outskirts. And then you start hiding behind cow carcasses as you're making your way through these outskirts into like the town. And then this is when you get to the part where you're trying to save the herbalist.
Yeah, which I've played this part like 20 times and I was never able to save the herbalist. I actually looked it up online and watched the guy do it, then tried to do what he did, and I could not save the herbalist.
I don't think you're supposed to save him.
You can save him
You
because I looked it
can,
up,
but
but it
I
doesn't
don't
even
think it
do anything.
matters. I don't
Like
I
you
don't
can't
think it
even
matters.
talk to him, I guess, if you do it. Like he's literally just
Yeah,
stands there.
that's why I don't really think you're supposed to. And like, I have a note here
Well,
because I also
it said save him, so I tried many, many times.
well, I have a note here, and it says, "Trying to save the herbalist. This is hard. Never mind. Fuck him." And I let him die because that shit was stupid. It was so hard. It made no sense, and so he dies. And fuck
Yeah,
him.
because I'm pretty sure it didn't. I think Preston asked, "Did you save this herbalist?"
Yeah.
Somebody asked,
Yeah,
"Save
he
the
did.
herbalist."
Yeah,
Yeah,
You have
Preston did
questions
have a comment.
in your notes, by the way, Tyler. We just all at the end.
No, I have some in here as we're going in. The one that Preston mentioned about that, I
Yeah.
had a note for, but Tom brought it up already. So,
We were
so
talking about it, and I remembered reading it, and he also hated this section, or it pissed him off because I remember him saying that too.
yeah, I was gonna. That's why I was gonna bring this up right here. Preston asked, "Did y'all save the herbalist? He defo died for me." Honestly, this whole area is just pissing me off, and agreed, because
Yeah,
that's how I felt during this section. It was very
because
stupid, and we'll
you're
get into it more here in a minute.
you have to kill people to get through this section. Some people at least. There's probably a lot you
Yep.
can leave alive. Maybe you could even leave all of them alive if you're like doing things perfectly. I'm not sure. But Lucas is a pissy little brat every single time you kill people. You shouldn't be killing people, Amicia. You shouldn't be killing all these soldiers. And like every time you're hanging out with Lucas, he like flip flops back and forth. Like at some point you're like, Lucas, there's a little too much on and I have to kill some people. Is that okay? He's like, okay, I guess so.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
the,
weird.
the writing in this section feels the most forced so far, which is weird because the writing, my recollection of the first game, never really came across or felt forced in really strong
No,
ways.
it felt really like there was always really good interactions. That was
Mhm.
what one of the nicer things about that.
And I think as we've gotten deeper, like the more chapters we get into this one, I feel that less and less. But definitely these first few chapters, it felt like they were trying to not exactly rewrite history from the first game, but kind of enlarge themes that were very minor from the first game in weird ways.
Yeah. Well, let's. I mean, we'll bring up Preston's big issue with this section. Then he said, "I'm confused. Your companions will always get upset with you for something as simple as a bit of murder, but it doesn't seem like there's any way to run a pacifist route, which is correct. You can't. You have to kill people at
Yeah.
some point.
Especially later
Um,
when you get a character who you literally tell to go kill people.
yeah, like after you save Lucas in chapter 3, and he starts yelling at you to stop killing them. Is there an option to run away? Are there choices here? I get that it's a brutal moment for Amicia to fight back and all that, but the dialogue makes it seem like as though you may have other choices.
I mean, you could probably do all the way up into this end, but those last two people by the herbalist, they're fucking dying. Like, there's no way around that because you're not getting past without them.
Well,
they're
once
gonna
they
have
kill
Definitely
the
you can have a
herbalist,
pacifist Amicia.
once they kill the herbalist, they have a pattern that they walk. You can sneak past them and get to the door.
Oh, I never let them
But
Yeah,
get to that pattern. I always let the
but at
rats
the
eat
end,
them.
yeah, they have a walking pattern. As soon as they kill the herbalist,
Oh.
you're good. And I think that when it comes to the actual open-ended sections, I believe that you can get through most of that without
Oh
attacking
yeah, because I've
somebody.
done
If
way more of these parts without killing any guards and just sneaking past.
But I also think it's different when you physically kill somebody versus when you use the rats. I don't think Lucas gives
Yeah,
as much of
he
a
doesn't
fuck.
care when the rats kill him. It's when you fucking
It's
beat
when
him
you
in the
use your
fucking head
bare
with a
hands
fucking
and like,
sling.
yeah,
he was still getting mad at me when I used saltpeter to take out torches.
yeah. Then
Yeah, I
it makes
suppose.
sense.
Yeah,
Surprised
because the
I
one at the graveyard that's digging, I fucking would whip one at him every time. And he's like, "No, don't kill people."
But it's very counterintuitive for the narrative, anyways, for them to be like, "Hey, don't do that," but also go ahead and do it if you want.
Yeah, especially what happens within fucking 5 minutes of this.
at the end of this
Yeah.
And
chapter,
you're
yeah,
just like,
which it is
"Go
established that
berserk."
is a bad thing, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Preston, you're right. It does make sense. It's confusing.
yeah, you're right, Preston. You should be on
Yeah,
this podcast. What are you doing?
except that you didn't play the first one, right? He's the one that didn't play the first one, but then
I
just
did, I
jumped
think.
fucking balls deep into the second one.
That's right.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed
Um,
that recap at the beginning, Preston.
I hope you listen to our podcast like I did. I listened to the first one again a week before the.
Well, I know Tyler
Second
told
one.
him to. I'm pretty sure he put the link up for the
I
original
did.
one.
You know,
And then
if you
people were
didn't
like,
listen to it,
"Who
that's
is
on
this
you.
spelunkers?"
It's 5 hours of great content.
Was it 5
so-
hours?
Oh
Yeah, no,
Orange
it's
shit!
long as
change?
fuck. I think it's 4, 3 or 4, 3.5, 4.
It's a longer
Yeah.
one.
Because
It
we did
was
the whole
a
game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did the
all
whole
in
game in one, which was a
That's
mistake.
stupid. We should have never done that.
It was good though.
Anyways, you kill the herbalist and you make your way through the door and you get to like the herbalist hut and you find out that they also killed the florist, which was the lady in town that was his wife, and you find her and she's dead. And Lucas is trying to find the nightshade, and you're walking around all over the place. And Missy starts to have an anxiety attack because of all of the horrible things that have happened, which is like, of course, nobody's
Yeah.
really like been there to help her out through any of this.
So do
I
you
also
guys
have a
think that-
question though.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, go ahead.
when in any game you've ever played has Nightshade been a good thing?
It's for sleep, right?
It's an okay move in Pokemon.
I thought it was for murdering
tomatoes
people and
nightshades?
poison.
She's not a fucking Batman villain. All right.
She could be.
Yeah, you
That
don't
could be
know
where
that.
this game's going.
Yeah,
This
she
is-
could be the first Batman. All right, this is
Yeah,
where
this is just
this
Poison Ivy's
segues
fucking
into
backstory.
fucking Gotham Knights.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
But yeah, so do we
She is
think
Ra's
that
al
she's,
Ghul.
do we think that she is just having anxiety attacks, or do you think it is related to the macula or something in some way? Because he keeps saying she needs to go to the island to be healed too.
Well, I think it's more like he literally, like, Voldon gave her the name of fucking whatever Tyler said
Protector.
before.
The Protector.
Protector. So I think that's like something like the Protector, I think, has always been like a blood relative of the carrier. She just got fucking like guts from Berserk, and she's just gonna fucking start murdering people because that's what she gotta do. She got bloodlust.
No, I think it's internal. He sees the struggle that she's going through, and it's like, if you go there, this will heal you from your troubles and all the things that you've been through. It'll heal like it'll heal his body, but it'll heal her spirit. It's all healing and getting back to some type of normalcy.
I don't.
Except that it won't.
I don't think it's the island that's actually going to be doing the healing of Amicia. I think it's the act of healing Hugo that's going to help Amicia move forward. Because I think it's definitely the internal battle she's having with her actions versus but she's being forced into it. But she may be a little desensitized, but she's not affected by it. And exactly how far is this?
I think
gonna
she's
be?
learning to like it.
I-
No.
At the end of
don't
this
know.
chapter, she's definitely liking it.
At the end of this chapter, No, I don't think so
And then
either.
she's like, "Ooh, I get better weapons to kill more people." Yes.
I think we're liking it.
Well, she's got what 2 episodes where she goes on this fucking murderous rampage so far, halfway through the game. Yeah, I think she's fucking growing to like it.
Yeah, she
Well,
does. I
she's
mean, she says
basic.
at the beginning of well, no, it's not the beginning of chapter 4. It's during this chapter, right after you have the
It's
big fights, that she can feel
correct
herself
in the
losing her
jail.
mind.
Yes. So she's pacing back and forth in the herbalist shed because Lucas said that she needs to just relax. He'll go and try to find the Nightshade without her, and of course he ends up getting fucking caught because why wouldn't he?
Wait, wait, wait,
And
wait,
so
wait, 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 wait. This is also where you get your first hair flower. Did you not get that from the tree?
you can get a hair flower from the florist in the town market.
Okay, maybe this is the second time you get a flower.
So
This is the first one I've written down.
yeah, you can get another one when you're at the.
Okay, but that's just talking to her. She
yeah.
gives it to you. This is like finding it in the wild.
Yeah, but that counts as the first one because
Oh my god. Well, you didn't mention it, so it doesn't
This
count.
is the first one that I had written down as well. So
Suck a bag of dicks, Tyler.
all right. As soon as this is over, I'm gonna go just chomp down on a big old bag of them. So you
Dicks?
gotta stealth through some grass here and get through like this tiny little section up to where Lucas was captured. And then the murder spree happens and you go and this whole time Lucas has been like, stop killing people, and then you just really don't stop killing people. And you just fucking kill everybody inside of this barn. And at one point she screams out, "You're goddamn dead."
yeah, she's tired of being afraid. She wants to show the army that she has control. But then she's not prepared at all for the fully armored guy that she knows is with them.
Yeah. Which you've seen a handful of times as you've made your way to this area. And you've heard them talk about the beast and how he's been, handling things.
Yeah,
But
which I think it's a
big
cool. I think it's a cool section for her character, but gameplay wise, my least favorite part of the game.
Oh yeah, this
so
is
far.
not good. Trying to kill those guys quickly with slings, like
it's
kind of garbage.
it
Hit
was
the
okay
sacks
for
of
me because I had
fucking
it upgraded
saltpeter.
and I was whipping 2 of them. I was like, pew
I
pew.
had
didn't have a
2
problem.
by
It
this
just
point?
sucked.
I think so.
Oh wow! I mean, I had the first upgrade.
I just fucking blind him with the fucking bag of whatever and choke the living piss out of him.
It was those for
Bag
the
of
shield
dicks. You're
guys.
blinding them with that bag of dicks.
Well, they can't
But the
blind him
big
with him. You were too busy fucking chomping on him.
That's right. Big ass soldier comes in and grabs you and throws you in jail and says that they're going to execute you. So
Yeah,
now
it is wild how often the characters that you're playing as in this game are not killed on sight when every fucking buddy else is.
yeah, very convenient for the story.
Mhm.
But Chris already brought this up. Amicia kind of has like a little breakdown inside of this dungeon cell with Lucas, and her and Lucas have a talk about like what she's going through and how she's having all these issues and stuff like that. And you guys decide to get out of the fort and try to make your way out. I don't even remember how they escape because I didn't write that down.
This is where you get
which I
the
apologize.
Lucas makes the fucking whatever.
But I'm talking about
Stupefaccio.
when they're in the
Flashbang.
actual.
Yeah, the stupefaccio, isn't it?
I'm talking about when they're in the cell. I don't
Yeah.
remember how they get out of the cell.
Stupefaccio.
They're going to
Well,
get executed and they're
yeah,
standing
they
by the
let-
fire. And Lucas is like, tell me when I got to do this. And then you got to fucking hold the button and press like fucking up. And he's,
Oh yeah. You're right. Okay.
Yeah. Which
he's
real
like,
quick
I'm
though on
Batman. Psh, smoke bomb.
I do
yes,
have
exactly. See,
Stupefaccio.
this is a Batman prequel. We all know. I don't know if you guys remember that scene where Amicia is like having a breakdown. Is one of the earliest things they showed from the game. I think it was like the second time they showed the game. They just showed that scene and it was like completely out of place without any context. It was like weird way to look at the game, but okay.
A lot of
I
the
did not
trailer
see that.
that I watched was very weird. Well, I know the characters. I don't know what the fuck's going on. None of this makes sense.
I watched
Rats.
trailers.
I also don't think I watched any trailers.
Well, I
for
watched
this
the
one.
one that I had to take the snippet out for the video, which isn't till the end of the trailer. So
Ryan, I know you watched the trailer because we watched it and we reacted to
Oh,
it.
that's right. I forgot I watched that one.
there is video proof.
Was it during the Xbox showcase?
Yeah. It was
I-
just like a wave of rats.
Yep, I also watched that trailer.
I
was with you guys.
seeked out no trailers.
He was sniffing them out like a rat himself. He was one of the plague rats. So you make your way out of the fort and end up in the depot, where you find your sling, you find a workbench, you find a map of Guyane, you find a ballista, and Lucas is like, "Hey, let's put some stupefacci on the tip of that ballista." You know what I'm saying?
It's a
and then
very, it's so crazy, it just might work idea. It's very stupid, but what
and
else are
he's
you gonna
like,
do?
"Is this gonna blast through this big ass fucking wooden door?" He goes, "Absolutely, it will."
Maybe.
Is it gonna
And
blind us? Maybe.
absolutely, it
But who
won't.
cares? Because we're the heroes. It'll work out.
And you shoot open the doors, it creates a smoke screen, and then they fucking Scooby Doo it out of there. Anyways, Evil Namek Steven, he has a comment here for chapter 3. Damn, the game really tries to guilt trip you every time you do stealth kills against murderers. He goes, "Ooh, what the fuck is this?" And talks about the monster fight, the monster closet fight, where you're in the barn, which I guess is true. You know, that is basically what that was, just being stuck in a closet.
Yeah, it's
Um,
such a small space. Like, I think it's the other than I guess the boss fight against the armor guy, it's like the smallest space that they just stick you in. They're like, you have to fight guys now, which sucks. Like, I love the open environments that you can stealth through. You have a lot of tools, a lot of options. This is also before you have like tar or the stupefacio, so it's just like you can blind dudes. Is pretty much
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
okay, so that ends that chapter, and we are on to chapter 4, which is called Protector's Duty. This
Find
chapter
another
is
flower right away at the
fucking
docks.
sweet. This chapter is so good. Uh, so Vodan says Hugo is doomed and is going to die, and your mom is just like, "Yep, that's
Yep.
that's fine." And Amicia brings up the island and like how Hugo keeps thinking about it and how it was in a painting and stuff. And Baudin is just being a big old bitch about it. And then they want to take him to Marseille, where the rest of, I guess, the Alchemist Order is. And they tell Lucas and Amicia to head to the harbor to get a ship so they can all leave. Um,
Yeah.
so as
So
you leave,
I think it's
go ahead.
just Lucas originally, and then she decides to go with them or whatever. But I love this moment when Amicia is really angry. She says she's gonna take Hugo away or whatever, and then the rest of the characters are still talking while she's like simmering down, but the camera stays just on her face, slowly calming down. I think that's really good.
Yeah.
And one of the things I actually really like about these first few chapters, and I feel like one of the reasons it stayed so slow feeling, is you're in the same city and you go like very similar paths, but you branch off a little bit to go to a new section of that area. And so, like, we're still in the city here, but then we leave again to go out into an area that we've kind of already explored, and it opens up into a new area eventually. But you're in the entire city is being put under curfew at this point. And it's one of those things, Chris, I guess that you like, where it's like you see something change over time as like the plague has gotten worse just within the few days that they've been there. Um,
Yep.
and Lucas brings up again how he doesn't want Amicia to kill any more soldiers, and Amicia's like, "Fine, but do anyways because who cares?" And you make your way along the docks, and eventually there's a fucking wave. Our first wave of rats comes and fuck some people up.
Glorious.
And then you get to a tar section for the first time where you light the tar up and then you have to light a brazier and kind of push it and get the tar moving.
Push
And then you that's right.
And
And there's actually a tar making building on the docks where you have to hit a door from behind and then you have to rotate this crank and Lucas will be standing on this
yeah, you
platform
gotta
as you
rotate
make your way.
Lucas's crank.
That's right. And you have to rotate this crank so you can actually create more tar, and it puts it on the floor, and you light that shit up.
Also,
Let's
it's not
see.
saltpeter, it's salt and pepper. They just think push it this whole fucking section.
Yeah, you made that joke earlier. I heard
No, it
you.
didn't.
You did.
I
I
don't
heard
think
you.
it did.
I heard you say
It's-
push it real good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was like what 20 seconds ago.
Yeah.
You
You
made it
said
seem
it
like I was at the
before that.
beginning of the thing. Oh yeah, you fucking did that.
I brought up saltpeter earlier, and you said it.
No, I didn't.
So
Okay.
Everybody, roll it
Did you
back.
get? Shut up. Did you find the mandolin here? Or actually, hold on. I'm reading my comment all wrong that I wrote in my notes. There's really good guitar or mandolin in this section. I read that.
oh, did you find
I say I
something?
don't think you find a musical
Like,
instrument. You can play it for the
I
cooperative
wrote
guard.
I wrote rest, good guitar or mandolin. I must have meant really good guitar or mandolin.
Yeah, the score
Rest.
in this is very mood setting. It's very good.
Rest good mandolin.
Right,
Like you're
that's
talking
right.
to it. You're telling it to have a good rest.
Rest good, mandolin. Rest
And
good.
then you kiss it on the handle, just a little peck.
Kiss the tip of the wood. Just
That's right. Another tar making station. This time you have to work with some random ass soldier who was abandoned by his troop because the soldiers in this town all suck absolute
yeah. So as
dick.
soon as this guy popped out, I immediately threw salt and pepper at him. Seriously though, he
Mike,
did
are you-
pop out, and I just whipped shit at him right away. I'm like, what the fuck? And then it's like Lucas is like,
I love the
"Oh, we
idea
should
of
have
like,
him
hey,
to help us." I was like, "Oh yeah," because all of the guards have been super like nice so far. We shouldn't
just
try
love
and
the,
kill him.
the idea that like, oh, he might be eaten by rats. We should like lighten him up with some salt and pepper, make him taste real good for these fucking rats. You know? Bon appetit.
Yeah, you got them. You know they're hungry. Nothing wrong
There's
with a
like,
little ratatouille happening.
that's right. There's like 3 significant burners in this station where you're going back and forth between the guard and Lucas and giving
Lift
orders
this gate
and setting
up.
shit
Make
on
this go
fire.
forward. Lift this down.
Yeah,
Make it go forward.
you finally like make your way through here. And I don't know what this says. Can throw tar at soldered torches to blind them.
Yeah.
Sure.
This is where
Soldier.
you learn about.
You can throw it at soldier torches.
That's probably what that's supposed to say.
Well, I don't know what else that would
Soldiers.
spell unless you're soldering stuff, which I don't
Throw
think you can
tar at
solder in this
soldiers'
game.
torches to blind them. I'll be
It's
honest, I totally forgot that you could do that because I have not been doing
It's
that.
so
Big
useful.
same.
That's more fun
And-
just making it go out and watch the rats eat the living shit out of them.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
That's
That's super
true.
useful also.
But they
'Cause then they're
start
gone
putting
forever.
the like in the chapter 6 or 7 somewhere around there. They start putting like the metal cage or whatever around it. So
You
can't
could just
use-
whip a fucking rock at them and make them
to break
go-
it.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
good to know.
Light the bulb.
But then you meet Joseph, and Joseph seems like a great guy, right? We all like Joseph, right?
Yeah, you
That's
know,
Yeah.
for
great.
the hot, 25 minutes he's in our lives.
The real.
Yeah, just like Jesus, you know.
Except Joseph
What?
didn't come back 3 chapters later. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. He could be at the end of the game.
I think
Some guy
Joseph
You
was
else.
remember
only in
that
Jesus'
part when he
life
was
for like 25 years.
impregnating Mary in the bells of the fucking ship?
I
Wasn't
don't
me.
think
Right.
that's how Jesus.
There's another sneaking section with a bunch of rats and a bunch of guards. And then this part, which was super cool, is like you're making your way through these sections, and like there's this big bonfire on the dock, or right off the dock, and you find out
It's
that
like on the shore,
people,
yeah.
it's people from the city who like weren't actually sick. The beast was just trying to clear out the city, and he's been killing like innocent civilians, and they're just getting rid of everybody no matter what, and they're just burning them all on the fucking shoreline.
Oh,
Sucks
that
to be
tar they're
poor.
liking.
So you meet up with Joseph again later on as you're making your way through the docks because like he can't get he's trying to get his ship away from them so they don't get spotted, and like you're trying to find him later on. It's weird.
Well, he was
And,
waiting for you, but the guards came
yeah.
upon him. And then he's like, well,
Yeah,
fine, I'm
so
getting the
he's
fuck
like,
out of
"Meet
here.
me
And then he's
down
like, you
here."
know what? I'm going to start murdering every motherfucker along the shore.
And so the earth starts to shake, and Amicia thinks that it's Hugo and rushes off back towards the house to get everyone back to the boat.
Which, as long as it took you to get to this point, I like how that's just a fucking little, 3-second movie, and bam, she's back at the fucking manor.
Right.
No problems. There's no fucking guards or rats on the way back. Shit tons of them on the way there.
Already dead. We killed them all. On the
Yeah,
way.
we took care of it all. What do you mean?
Yeah, that happens in like the last 3 chapters, I feel like, where
Yeah.
you're really far away and then suddenly you're just back. At least this has you running back through the rat tsunami.
Yep. And then comes
That's
the
right.
good
That's
good
my
part in a
next
little
note.
bit.
Giant rat wave comes through the town, and you have to run away from it.
Yeah, and this is your first
This
rear-facing camera moment.
this section is so fucking cool, though. Like the rats are just everywhere, just fucking everything up. The buildings are all crumbling around you.
Yeah, isn't this where you look up at the castle and the fucking whole part like just fucking falls down? It's like,
Oh yeah, it's
yeah, and
so
that's when
good.
the rear-facing camera happens. And it's like,
It's so good. And then you finally make your way back to Hugo, and you're running with him out of the town, and the entire town is just being destroyed behind you, and like Bodan is fucking murdered.
yeah, there's that one lady that's just like crying, and you run past her. Well, I mean, you could turn if you thought to turn. I ran past her first, and then ran back, and you just hear her screaming as they're fucking eating her alive.
Yep. And Hugo tells Amicia like that he was having a nightmare and he doesn't understand like what's happening. But like we realize in that moment that like his nightmare is what caused these fucking rats to come through here and literally destroy the entire town. And then you carry him back, and like the entire trip back to the boat is like super melancholy with like Amicia's trying to keep Hugo calm and like telling him not to look at stuff and
Hmm.
just like keep his eyes closed. And um, it's a really emotional scene between the two of them of like her being his protector, and it's
Sad
great.
bagpipes being played in the school.
Oh yeah,
Pretty good.
man, that's one of my favorite chapters because that ending is so good as you come back. And that ends the chapter, and we make it to chapter 5, which is In Our Wake.
Great title name, by
Hugh,
the way.
Yeah.
Multiple meanings.
that's right.
You're really thinking.
I was thinking they all have really good meanings. I mean, the last chapter was Protector's Duty, and at the end,
It's
you
Yeah, but
get
just
that's
her
back.
like
taking
basic.
a poop. Yeah, she's just
Yeah,
taking a
but
poop.
anyways.
Duty.
So Hugo keeps dreaming about the island. You guys are all on the ship. Your mom, Lucas, Joseph, everybody's having a good time.
No,
Uh,
they're not.
yeah,
Nobody's having a
they're
great
all
They're
time.
having
having
a
a
great
Can't
time.
party
be like,
floating down the fucking river.
Just
Terrible time.
Tom, you keep ruining it. I haven't gotten to that point yet. God damn it.
It's called In
Anyways,
Our Wake. You're in a boat.
man,
Hugo
a
is
boat.
becoming very aware about the fact that he's killing these people and just wants people to listen to him because he's tired of like them fucking with him, and he wants people to understand like he wants to go to this island so they can see if it'll help. And Amicia
Me?
is really becoming at odds with her mom because she doesn't trust how she's handling Hugo, especially what just happened with Vodan. She blames a lot of that on her for fucking with him and not like trying to actually calm him and keep him comforted. And her mom wants to continue to go to the order and have them help. And just doesn't trust anybody at this point. Um,
I didn't really get
so
the impression that her mom blamed her. I did get the impression that that obviously there's tension
no,
between them, but I think that's just.
Amicia blames her mom
Oh, okay, okay,
Oh,
for
yeah.
putting Hugo
yeah, yeah,
in that situation.
With Vodon.
yeah. Okay, that is
Yeah.
true. Yeah. But most of the tension is just the fact that she's still trying to take Hugo to the order, to a
Out of
place
the
where he's
island,
literally
yeah.
going to be locked in a tower.
And study.
And Hugo is saying
Until he
he
dies.
doesn't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, we
they
didn't
make
even
a
talk
comment.
about that because I think it's when
What?
you're leaving for is it chapter 3 then you leave and she finds out that Lucas knew that Hugo's gonna die just because of this.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
Also,
it seemed like everybody knew except for Amicia
Amicia.
and Hugo,
I
I
actually
guess.
believe that's in this chapter.
No, it was
when
at the
they
beginning of chapter 4.
was it?
they're still in
Never
that house. I thought.
It don't matter.
Finds out. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know how to tell you because I'm a little bitch. My name's Lucas."
But there's a bunch of
Things like
debris
that.
blocking the river, and it's crazy because as you look around, there's just fucking dead bodies everywhere floating down this river.
It's people.
It's like the Titanic out there, just bodies floating in the water everywhere.
Yeah,
Um,
find your fucking door to hang on to.
and you clear the river or the debris from the boat, anyways. And
There's
of
that
course,
chain. Yeah, there's the chain that you gotta. Oh no, yeah,
that's
'cause you
later
get
on.
off to the yeah.
Yeah, this is where you first get off, and of course, the fucking boat goes on without you.
Yeah, because I
And
like her and Lucas get out and they're like, "We'll push it free." Are you fucking
yeah,
kidding me? Ooh,
Yeah, you knew
we
in
did
that
it.
moment it's like they're gonna be split.
Hmm.
So you take the path and you immediately come out and it's already infested with rats. And this is where we get to the crank puzzles that Ryan was talking about earlier, where you have to crank a bunch of shit and light it
Yeah.
and throw a stick, and there's
Swinging
this.
cranes. I do like that though, where you can just target them and you just whip the stick to the people. That's pretty fun. Because you do
It
that a
worked
little
for
later
about
too.
20 minutes.
What?
That's why I told you it broke for me. I just
Oh,
was throwing them right next to him. It wouldn't lock onto him to have him catch it.
well, that's
I was
because
just
fucking Lucas can't catch. I mean, let's be real. They're just like hitting him in the head. Oh, I'm an
Yeah.
alchemist.
hit him, throw it to his left. Actually, no, it won't let you. It wouldn't let me throw it directly at him. I was just like making a circle of.
Oh, so
Yeah,
it
it was
wasn't like highlighting him. Yeah,
No,
because it has
yeah.
to specifically
Oh.
highlight him. You're just like whipping sticks at him.
yeah, just all around him is pile of sticks slowly growing.
You were gonna set him on fire. You were
Yeah.
gonna burn the witch.
Burn the witch. She
I
turned
mean,
me
that's
into Newt.
one less person to argue with you about what you're gonna do with Hugo. So.
I got better.
But then Mom would be lonely at the end of this
Mommy?
chapter.
It should be
Who
fun.
cares?
Sure.
Mom sucks in this game.
This is also the first time we get pyrites because you're like running across and I
That was
don't know,
my
the
next
ground gremlins
fucking
or something.
note.
Buddy, we're all talking about this
Come
game. It's
on.
okay.
This is a team effort.
Come on, my note's ruined.
But yeah, whipping the pyrite on the ground looks very
We have notes too. Kind of.
It's that chicken scratch. I can't read that. What is that?
Here,
I
wait.
bought-
I'll find one. I'll find one that brings back fond memories.
I bought bought a friendly fire
Look at that.
notebook to
Wow.
take my notes in.
Yeah, I bet
Wrong
those notes
pages.
are fire.
Wait.
Not
Where
a
is it?
friendly
Focus on
fire
it.
Google
There.
Doc.
Remember this? Remember this right there?
No, but the pyrite is super badass. I love how she like swings it around. She's like, "Ugh," just like whipping it like fucking
Yep.
Catwoman back and forth. Really
Really
good.
So like Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman, I like
I
Halle
thought it was
Berry
weird though
Catwoman,
when she
right?
like dropped it and dabbed on the rats though. She's like, I'm gonna hit this 1300s dab right on these rats real quick.
I also like, since
Uh,
we're talking about weird animations, when she has the stick, she burns her finger, but you could just drop it and you don't get that weird 5-second animation that her burning her fingers.
Where she goes,
Also,
"Ooh,
she doesn't
ah,
learn her
ooh, ah,
lesson.
ah."
You just keep holding it and let her keep burning her fucking fingers. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if it's happening to
you
you.
should be
The
desensitized by now.
stick burns out and you get swarmed by rats. You know.
They should
I
add a Misi tonight so that she can dab.
I really like that the emergency rat item is separate from any of the other items we craft, and
Right?
it's
Yeah.
much better to have it. System.
Theo shit.
Yeah. Which I think you
Oh,
can
shit.
only carry one unless you upgrade, right? Same as a
Yeah.
knife.
Well, you can put it out early, and I think it lasts like it has a predetermined amount of time. So because you can put it out prior.
You can,
to,
but
like,
does it save if you use it only?
I
a short
thought
bit?
so because I never remember doing anything else, unless it just happens when you pick shit up. Like
There's
I've never crafted anything.
There's another one you get right after you use this first one that they give you automatically. So if you pick that one up and haven't used it, you've had one in like
Yeah,
on the
I think I've
mountain
only used
wall
it, like,
I
directly
think
after.
you get to save
twice.
it.
Okay.
I don't think you get to save it. I think you just pick them up. Same as
I also think
knives.
it's
You just
one
find
and
them every once in a while.
Oh.
Yeah. But you make your way through here, and you have to move a chain that is caught, so the boat can keep going, and the chain like reaches across two ends, and you jump down, and there is a fucking dead body stuck in the crank of this fucking chain.
I like how she just
That-
keeps
yeah,
apologizing to him too. Like, oh, I'm sorry, and just like squelch.
Not only
Yeah.
that, but you're
Sorry.
walking through just this river filled with dead bodies.
Yeah,
to
there's
get
like
to
dead
that
bodies
point.
like piling up along the.
I mean,
like,
you were
the
walking
wood
through
everywhere.
the fucking dead pig goo as well.
This is a new level, though. I would say. I think dead pig.
Well, this actually
goo
has
is...
fresh water at least running as well.
How
Before it was
fresh
just
is it?
fucking.
Yeah, but
Fresh.
your family wasn't in charge of the dead pig goo, whereas the dead bodies were all a direct cause from you and your family.
Are they? I mean, the beast is the one
Yes.
rounding people up and killing them. I know it's in response to the plague, but
The beast
it's
didn't
not...
make a tidal wave come through the city and murder the entire.
Listen, man, I'm
But-
playing as Amicia. I'm not playing as fucking Hugo. You can't blame that shit on me.
That's true.
But
But
she
also,
feels
if the beast
responsible
was
as his
not,
protector.
yeah,
It's not
but
my
if the
fault
beast
he's
was
fucking
not, like,
calling rats.
doing all the crap he was doing, would Hugo have been put in that situation? I guess. I mean, really, it's Vadon's fault for doing the
And
shit he
Hamaz,
did
yeah.
to Hugo.
Yeah, you know, He's tugging on his ball sack and sticking his
But
finger up.
she went to go find Vodon and bring him to Hugo, so she feels responsible for that. You know, she has a lot of
Mom's
guilt.
fault. And then if we're going back to the
Sucks to
first
suck.
game, then it is our fault because Mom's only alive because we saved her.
Yeah.
And then it's her mom's fault for giving to that bitch.
Yeah. You know, if she wouldn't have given birth to these two fucking assholes in the first place,
It's really
it wouldn't
the
matter.
dad's fault for
Yeah,
impregnating
for
the mom.
dying. That's what
And then
it is.
dying
Yeah.
a
Dying
coward's death.
so fucking early.
So then you take like there's a tiny little ferry on that chain. You take it across to break the counterweight, so the chain can drop all the way, and you'll be unstuck.
There's a
Then
lot of
you
hidden
get
items
stuck.
here.
You get stuck over there by yourself, and you have to find a way back. So
Yeah, I think there's several hidden items in this
Yep.
path when you're by yourself.
Did you figure out how to get to the chest on like the outside of the building?
Yeah, you go around the outside.
It was like blocked for me. It wouldn't go around the exterior
Oh, you
side of the
came
building.
out, you could go around to
Yeah.
the outside. Yeah.
There was a
could
back
go over.
outside. Didn't let me like hop over it. Like walked up to it and then just like walked into a wall.
What's what you get for not playing it on a fucking Xbox?
What are you playing on PC?
PC.
easy.
I wonder if Steven's playing it on PC because he was having button prompt issues too. Like I had a couple, but they
I
weren't
don't
like
believe
gone.
he has a PC.
Okay, because I've had them where it's like I'm like I could get right next to the item and it doesn't appear, and I gotta like fucking walk around.
Yeah,
and,
you
like,
gotta like
you have to be like 4 feet
do
away from
some
it for it to
weird,
actually
like,
show up.
geometry bullshit.
I only had
Nah.
one of those. I only had
You go like
one.
this, and then you do the fucking tri blast and it's fucking TN style.
One like little.
We're talking about you, Tyler. We're talking Dragon Ball here.
Talking about you right here.
Do you have a third eye? Because maybe you should get a TN tattoo. I think that would work out very well.
Yeah, right on my fucking forehead, right here.
Well, if you want to get the third eye, yeah. But you should just get him like doing this tri blast
What if
between the
what if it's
shoulder
just-
blades like that.
What if it's just my brown eye?
I mean, you could have him doing the tri blaster on your brown eye into your Bermuda Triangle.
Tell
That's
you what,
fine.
after all the alcohol I had over the weekend, I was having.
I tell you
black
what,
out.
next extra live stream, that is going to be an option. $500. Tyler gets the Tri Blast TN tattoo around his fucking Bermuda Triangle.
God. So there's another small puzzle section here with some platforms and a cart that you have to move around, where you have to break some stuff from one end, pull the cart around, use kind of a lift to lift it up, push it down, drop it down, and just so you can climb a wall and all this shit.
I
I feel
have
like
some
it's
fucking
not-
insane muscles after pushing all these carts.
Yeah, and I love how it just like rolls the same no matter what surface it's on. Like,
Yeah, I like how you just turn the camera and you just like swing it. Like wheels don't roll that way.
yeah, and she's just like hulked out the whole time. Like, it's crazy. But you do end up making your way back to the boat, and you save Lucas because Lucas is getting captured by some soldiers, and you get to use the crossbow for the first time that is on Joseph's boat.
I got the markers mixed up over people's heads, and I shot Lucas with the first bolt out of that crossbow.
Wow.
Did it kill him?
Right in the
No,
back of the
nothing
head.
happened. Nothing bad happened. I'm like,
Oh,
well, I
man.
definitely hit him. Why didn't he die? And I'm like, oh, that's Lucas.
He doesn't talk the same
Oh.
anymore, but he's still okay.
So is this Arno that's here? Is this the first time we see Arno?
Arnaud,
Yeah.
Arnaud,
Okay,
yes.
so this is really stupid because I had a really long break in between chapter 5 and like chapter 6 because I was really busy. So like it was probably like a week between those two play sessions, and I have Arno's name written down here, and I just never went back and looked at my notes. So I guess I knew that he was in this section. Oh well. So I have it written down. Is Arno the big bad here? Like he's the beast guy from the Colosseum,
But he's not.
right?
But he's
But
not.
he's not.
Yeah, it's
I
different.
have a
guy.
question. I have a question mark written there because I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck is this?" But you stay on the gun while Joseph steers the ship through all this crazy shit, and you're just wrecking shit, just murdering all kinds of people, blowing shit
Yeah,
up.
and she is fucking having a good time.
Feels like Call of
She's having a
Duty.
great time. And then
It's
our
like Black
boy
Ops when you're going down fucking
homie,
the river. World War
Joseph
II.
gets shot in the fucking neck. So
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, that was grisly.
Very Game of Thrones.
It definitely came out of like nowhere. I mean, like you knew it's probably gonna happen, but still, it was brutal.
That way happening came out.
Yeah, you think it
Yeah.
would have lasted a
Yeah.
little longer, like more along the boat sense, and because there's a boat from the trailers,
Yep.
Yeah. I think we
and
skipped
T Pain
over.
pops out with fucking Lonely
I think we
Island.
skipped over. This is the second time that you do the backwards running thing when you're being chased by Arno,
Yeah, through
or
the
that's coming
fucking
up right
little
now.
the hill paths or whatever. Yeah,
It's right after this is when I have it written down.
after you
Because
get shoot the
he
crossbows.
gets shot in the neck, and then you get the crossbow. The crossbow breaks.
That's right.
You start shooting. There's like a shooting gallery type setup here where you have to make your way through, and then you start getting chased through the mountainside, and you have to run a shit ton. You end up falling down. You're getting chased all over the place. And then Hugo actually ends up coming to the rescue and uses his rats to fuck these people up. Hardcore.
But not before you get a very nasty gash on your head.
Correct. From Arno, apparently.
And then you get a new haircut too. Later, because of this.
Yep. So Hugo comes and saves Amicia, brings out all the rats, gets everybody out of there. And Hugo and Amicia are on the shoreline, and the boat is kind of going down the river still. And she just lets it go. With her mom and Lucas still on it because she wants to take Hugo. She's tired of running from people. She's tired of listening to everybody else. She's going to do what she thinks is important, and she's going to take Hugo to the island. And that
Yeah,
is
they
where-
both shared the look, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not getting on that fucking boat. Let them fucking go."
Yup. And then Lucas and her mom are like, "Come back!" And they're like, "No, bitch, I ain't coming back there."
He's like, Lucas knows how to, pilot the boat. He was shown for fucking 30 seconds by Joseph. And
Yeah. I like at the beginning of the next chapter when Hugo's like really worried about Lucas and his mom, and Misi's just like, they're fucking fine. I don't care what happens to them, but I'm gonna tell you they're fine.
And then Smithy had a comment. It's a general comment. He's about here. Once the rats got introduced, my enjoyment skyrocketed. The puzzles are so well made and just pure fun. Set piece moments are incredible, specifically when the rats destroy the city and that one huge building on the hill crumbles in a matter of seconds. My jaw was practically on the floor during that bit. As for the story, I'm going to assume it's just because the team writing it is French and it doesn't translate as well to English, but the writing and voice acting seems really weak to me. None of it, particularly from Amicia, makes me think this is a real person and with real emotions. Amicia also narrates too much, I think. But once again, gameplay is very fun and the story is engaging on general level.
yeah, I
What do
think
you guys think
the
about that?
writing from the first one was definitely better. I think this one is a little more lacking. Not in some parts, it's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but there are definite parts where it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think the big beats hit hard, and it's
Yeah.
the stuff in the middle where, like
Yeah, it's
Cody
the
said, there's a
it's the
lot of
fluff.
extra. Yeah, there's a lot of fluff in there. Like the amount of times she's like, "There's rats here.
Yeah,
There's
we
rats
gotta
here.
fill this
There's rats
dead
here."
air. Let's just have her say something.
Yeah, it's my problem that I have with Horizon, Forbidden West, where it's just like Aloy just never shuts the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at least she's usually
Redheads, am I
talking to
right?
someone though. Whereas
It's that similar haircut, the braids and pulled back point.
Yeah, it's
kind of yeah.
redheads.
Whereas
Although
Aloy
Aloy
is
has that
literally
huge
crazy and
fucking
talking to
giant
herself.
head, though. She got that fucking pumpkin head. So I don't know if you've watched my stream of the playthrough of your first one, but
No,
she's a
no.
giant fucking head.
Chris, what were you saying? I couldn't hear you because Tom was talking over you.
No, it wasn't.
I was just saying at least Amicia is typically talking to somebody when she's saying things, whereas Aloy
Very
is
true.
just insane and constantly talking to herself.
Yeah, but
I get that from my stash later.
as far as the voice acting and stuff, I feel like it's fine. I mean, I assume we're all playing in the English version, correct?
Can you play it in French?
Yes.
You should play it in French, Tyler.
No, why would I do that?
No subtitles.
You were talking about how
Yeah,
you're going
and
to
then
do that
you-
with the first
yeah.
one for a little while.
This is how we talked
on.
with the first one, and you're all Mr. French.
Yeah, but I also said I wasn't going to do that.
Someone
I only kiss in French, so
someone play the rest of it in French with no subtitles, and then they have to tell us what happened in the game.
I'll do it.
That would be fucking insane.
I will do it. I will bite that bullet.
Tom doesn't care.
But we are on to chapter 6, which is leaving all behind.
It's just a
Chris already
bunch of
said,
ass camera shots.
shut up. We're talking here. Chris already said Hugo's worried about his mom and Lucas, and it really doesn't make any fucking sense. He helps Amicia with her fucked up, bloodied head. It is bad. Her head is like bleeding hardcore.
You get the super nice field where you get to just lay in the grass.
Yeah, I
Great.
really I had a note about these fields. I think they look great. They were
I
very
also did.
reminiscent of Ghost of Tsushima, like just coming into a field. And it's very colorful and not exactly like
Yeah.
aesthetically, but like that sense of coming into an open field, having all the like
Oh, it's
uniform
gorgeous.
color spreading across field. So pretty.
It's almost like
Yeah, all the purple
opening
flowers and stuff.
on the horse with Ghost of Tsushima, where it just all of a sudden it just pans up.
Yeah.
Except
And then
not as
you're
good.
walking through the field hand in hand. You know, you're
Skipping.
guiding them along.
We're off
And then
to see the
Hugo-
wizard, the wonderful wizard of Oz.
Can I go? Can I keep going?
No.
All right. So Hugo's like wants to race Amicia, and she was like, "Yeah, sure," but like her head's hurting super fucking bad. Like you can tell she's got like a concussion. And Hugo ends up falling down and finding feathers, and apparently this is a new collectible.
Yep.
that
No more
you get
flowers.
to wear.
Well,
Have
he
you guys
wears.
found any more? I think
No.
Wait,
this is the
you
only-
found one
I
there?
found one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I found
this is
two.
you have to find this one
Yeah.
because it's like right under the tree.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a
yeah,
bunch of
that's how you
nests,
race
and he
it.
finds it. And he's like, "Oh,
Yep.
wait, no, I find a seagull one later." Don't I?
That's
I found the seagull one.
I think I thought
I did
I
not.
don't remember finding this one in the field. I remember finding that
Oh.
seagull one.
Yeah. Okay,
And
so I
then
found two so far.
one later one I found. And maybe I did
I
find
have-
this one, but my brain's blanking on it.
I think
Yeah.
you
I
have
have
to
only
like
found this one.
you literally like it's part of the little animation. Like he's like, "Oh, feather," and then
Yeah,
stick it in
he
his-
falls down and then
shirt.
gets. It's
Oh,
like
right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you keep making your
I
way.
like how you ask
through
him because
field.
she says she has the flowers too from before. He's like, "No, I'm gonna do
Feathers.
feathers now. I'm a
Yep.
man."
Fucking kids, man.
You
You
come
buy them fucking flowers for Christmas, and then they decide they're into feathers. I didn't buy
Yeah.
any feathers, you son of a bitch.
Well, you know, he just sees all this death around him. He's just tired of everything.
He's gonna
dying,
fly
and
like an
a lot of
eagle.
them are gonna die, so.
Let's see.
That's it. He's Lenny Kravitz.
He's just
Never
gonna
seen
build
that?
That's not
his
Lenny
bird.
Kravitz.
Who sings
Fucking
that?
Steve Miller Band.
That's
Isn't
Steve
it?
Miller Band. No, I think it's Lenny Kravitz.
It's not Lenny.
Hold on, we got to look this up.
I don't know what anything. things you're
Oh,
saying.
I'm fairly confident it's Steve Miller Band.
He's just
It
gonna
is
build
Steve
the
Miller
bird
Band.
from his dream with all these feathers. Though.
Hold on.
Steve Miller Band, right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I just said
And
that.
Seal does it for the fucking goddamn fucking Space
Yeah.
Jam soundtrack.
I'm thinking of Fly Away. Lenny Kravitz is Fly Away.
Well, yes, he does do that song.
That's what I got.
You are
confused
correct.
for.
Or Tyler.
Anyway,
We're back, everybody.
Shut up! We're going back to the game.
I'm gonna make a T-shirt that is a triangle on, so I can wear all.
Come across a camp of pilgrims going to Rome, trying to ask for directions to the island.
The rest of
That's
this
a nice
musical?
song. Yeah, this
Let's
is
Yeah,
Plague Tale the musical.
you can find a swing and have Hugo try to push you, and then Amicia's like, "Hey, hold up, I'm getting fucking
I'm too
nauseous.
fat."
Gotta get off." And then everybody's like, you ask people for directions, and they're like, you should talk to this gentleman named Perot. He's leading mass. I was like,
And
this
it's
guy's
another
gonna-
area that's like a mini fair, not a fair,
It is
but the same pretty much aesthetic as the fair.
very similar.
Kinda
Very
feel-
similar.
Vibe.
Copy paste,
then-
different colors.
Pretty
I
much.
think it's just because I'm suspicious of everybody in this game with the shit Hugo and Amicia go through. But I was suspicious of these people right away, and they turned out to be
Oh, yeah.
perfectly fine, lovely people. But they kind of felt like a cult.
Yeah, typically church people are not people you want to be around in video games.
Yeah, my note.
Especially like people who are all camped out in the woods with fucking tents, and they're like, praise the Lord. You're like, you're going to kill people of a different race, probably. You know?
Yeah, they can come back and still kill people.
Yeah, definitely my note was
Good.
don't trust these goddamn cultists. ...
No.
All right, I'll take it back.
Yeah, you kind of have to trust them because soldiers end up showing up looking for you, and a lot of them cover for you as you walk through the camp.
Actually, I
You
think it's only
eventually,
the main guy that covers for you because other people rat you out. Because you can hear the guards going, "Oh, these people saw a fucking girl and a little kid walking over there."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh shit."
well, Perot covers for you,
Yeah,
and
Ross Perot.
you actually end up getting spotted, of course, and you end up falling down into a ravine because Amicia can't catch a break, and she's fucked up at this point. And then this ravine comes out into like this big ass quarry looking area, and Hugo's like, I can feel the rats in the walls. I'll use them to find the people. And he ends up having like fucking bat sonar apparently, and it's like you
Oh,
Exactly what
Batman.
Hugo sounds
start
like.
using the rats like echolocation, so
Yep.
you can start spotting people, which is pretty nice.
Yeah,
Hugo's
it's
probably
very useful.
Morbius though, so we got Morbius.
Yeah, it's
Ugh.
morbid time. That's what he said when he slick for people. What were you gonna say, Chris?
Oh, nothing. I was just saying it's nice to have like the see-through wall vision thing. They do start making stealth encounters slightly more difficult at this point, I think, because you have
Yeah.
access to that, which is great.
Definitely in
Um,
this quarry part, like towards the end, it was a lot of the fuck it, I'm just running because I'm sick of it. Like,
This was like the open part at the end. I had no issues with this section at all, which was
Yeah.
really weird because
I didn't
like a
have
lot of the
issues. I
stealth
just
sections,
taking too
I
long,
know,
so
but
I
a
just
lot of the
fucking
stealth
ran.
sections I've had a lot of problems with, where it's just
Oh,
like trying to figure out the right path for me to take. And
sure.
this one is
Well, it's
just
definitely
smooth
more
sailing.
helpful now with the sonar.
yeah. Yeah, and your sonar's not like limited yet. They limit it, I think, after this chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it this stress or whatever?
Does the sonar raise the stress bar? I think
thought it was just
controlling
controlling
rats
the-
does.
I thought sonar
Yeah.
was started raising it too. It definitely shows up when you use your sonar,
Yeah.
but maybe it's not actually increasing.
I'll have to check
Because
it.
I only push it for like 1 second, because then everybody's highlighted for a while anyway. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't
not
have
very
noticed when I
long
was
though. It's
raising it or not.
it's a real short like burst.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You make your way through this little section, and Amicia keeps like stumbling and grabbing at her head, and she's having a really fucking hard time, and she actually ends up passing out inside the building, and like Hugo starts to like freak out, and a bunch of rats show up, and then it just becomes fucking Emperor Palpatine with unlimited power, and you just start controlling the rats and fucking people up, and it's amazing. So, how do we feel about controlling the rats here?
oh, definitely a very, very, very well added mechanic. Because otherwise, I could see this game starting to get a little stale with just the sling and like the crossbow is fine, but it's like you can kill them with the sling too, minus the guys with the helmets. There's other ways to do it,
Yeah.
but the rats you can just fucking maul. I've only used them in this part. Like I haven't used them in the later sections where you can use it and raise the stress
haven't
levels.
used them
I
yet.
haven't used them yet.
Yeah, I've used them again.
Oh. I definitely use them, yeah. And it is.
So, is there a way to make his stress level go down?
I don't
Not
think
that I've
so. I haven't
seen.
seen it go down.
I
Or
honestly
you're just
didn't even pay
building
attention to
to
that meter at all.
You're gonna start building to kill him. So I'm gonna get to the end, and since I didn't control the
Yeah, that
rats,
kid's got dying.
he'll be
hands, right?
alive, and you will have killed him.
Oh well.
Good job, you monsters! Killed fucking Batman.
No third game.
I have a note written here, Imperium. I don't remember what that is.
Wow.
Wrestling team in
I didn't know what Imperium is.
Clearly, what he was referencing.
Written here for something.
I don't know what you're talking about. So
But yeah, I like how Amicia is like, I don't know, shocked that he's controlling the rats. It's like they go into it a little deeper later that it's a different kind of control than he had before, but it's still like he controlled rats before.
yeah, like the
Yeah.
entire
Well,
last
that-
boss fight for the end of the first game, he was controlling them.
yeah. But it wasn't like a gameplay mechanic before, right?
No.
Not like it is.
Yeah,
in-
you never had control of them like this, but yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you
But
can make
still-
them climb.
Yeah, they can climb up if there's nets or stuff, whatever.
Yeah, like the banner or whatever that's just knocked on tapestries.
Have you guys? So I know the game hasn't shown us any, but I was able to make a rat tornado.
Imperium.
Yeah, I did it, but I don't know how, and I thought it was a fucking game glitch, like
It
Fallout
was like
New Vegas.
sneaking.
Because I killed somebody, and it was all of a sudden they were just like glitching. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with the game?
See, it
It was a
wasn't.
fucking rat tornado.
It wasn't that for me. It was pushing rats like in between two light sources, and at
Oh,
one
yeah.
point they just kind of like piled on top of each other and were a little
Oh, yeah,
tornado.
usually they'll burn out, but no, I like
Yeah.
had them. I had I put out somebody's torch later. It's after you get our nod or whatever the fuck his name is. And I put the light out, and all of a sudden this fucking rat tornado appeared and ate him, but they were just sitting there fucking spinning. I'm like, well, how the fuck do I get past them? Like, they're just a fucking tornado just going around. I'm like, there's something not right here. I just assumed it was the game
It's not right.
fucking up.
Also,
Yes.
Imperium is the name of that ability. That's why I have that written down.
The rat tornado ability?
No, the ability that Hugo has to control the rats. It's called
Ah.
Imperium.
Really? I don't remember ever hearing that.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think you made that up.
I did not.
Some
Look
That's
it up.
why you're the
40K
host.
shit.
Look it up. I just did to make sure that that note wasn't some random bullshit. But as you make your way through this section after doing that, I don't know if you guys did this, but you can find a new bandage for Misia's head.
At the dye
Did y'all do that?
station.
Yep. So now she's got like a cool warrior's
I
bandage.
was very
It's like
disappointed when there weren't
orange.
more pieces in that room.
That's all there was. It literally was bandage. Like, you go up and over, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna secret stuff. Nope, it's a bandage for her head.
Yeah, a lot of times the secrets are just those. They call them souvenirs, the
Yeah.
memories or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have another little stealth section where you have to control the rats again, and then you get to fight the beast. And this was the easiest fucking fight in the world. It literally takes 30 seconds.
Yeah, you just throw a fucking tire at his feet, and he just fucking starts himself on fire.
Yep.
And then you laugh as he burns. I don't
Oh,
think
is that
Chris did that though, because the
Nope.
look he's giving me.
I ran in circles in this room forever.
Oh, really?
But yeah, eventually I blinded him and then I hit his back. But then I was just slinging rocks at him. I was like, "Is this doing damage?" It wasn't. Then I shot him with one crossbow and he died because his armor was off. But I slung rocks at him for a long time, thinking I was gonna eventually kill him.
Well, yeah, because enemies start jumping down too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I set him on fire at first, and then I knocked his armor off to like make the fire. It seemed like the fire spread faster once his armor was off. And he
Yeah,
just
I
died.
don't think he can die unless the armor's off. If you hit that link on the back, and then
Okay,
what
then,
is
yeah.
dumb is then they did like, oh, this is a main character. You know what? Now he's going to be a character from now on, just an NPC that you have to fight. There's all these guys walking around with.
Yeah, they end up coming
Leading.
back a
Yeah.
lot later.
Yeah,
I've only seen
like,
one
well,
of the
that
guys
just-
with armor.
that-
Are there like a ton of them? I guess I've skipped.
it's like
a ton
2
of
or
them.
3, I think. that
Yeah,
you find.
there's 3 or 4 in the next section.
Yeah. But it's like, well, you just took away everything that was special about this supposed boss, and now he's just a regular fucking enemy. Whatever.
After you kill him, Amicia is like really still struggling with this fucking head wound. Like clearly has a concussion. And
Sleepy time.
tells Hugo to save them with the rats because like she can't do anything else. And then hold on with the rats, and he ends up losing control and has a seizure, and like a giant rat tidal wave ends up coming. So then you run with Amicia, and she can't make it all the way up the wall, and then somebody helps out and saves you, and then it fades to black, and then we all know who that was.
Was it
Lucas.
Tyler?
But
Hey Arnold.
it was Arno. But that part where Hugo has to like control the rats, the part was kind of difficult because it's like Macy's all fucked up, and you got those guys coming across the bridge, and like they're all coming out of the
Yeah,
cave.
you gotta hit him in stride, otherwise they'll fucking shoot her.
Yeah, you got to do it at the right time. I failed it once because she ended up getting shot, but
Yeah,
it
same.
was interesting.
That failed.
yeah,
I thought it was very easy.
Yeah, I didn't know she could die.
Yeah, the first time
Oh,
I took a very wrong path and a very long way around, and I only mauled
Yep.
like 2 of the groups of enemies, and then I was running the wrong direction, and there was 2 guys that spawned on the other side. And by the time I made it to them, they already
That has also happened to me, and she
let
ended up getting
loose of the
shot.
arrows.
So now we're on to chapter 7, which is called Felons. I have it. The strange man helps take care of you and Hugo, and it's going to help you get to see.
And then you're really, really mean to him. Which, if you don't know who he is, which none of us did at first, it's like, why are you so fucking mean to this guy that saved your lives?
Yeah,
She is super mean. And then you find out it's been 2 days since the rat tidal wave in the quarry.
and you find a seagull feather here.
I did not find it.
Yeah, by the lake, like right before you pull the boat away from the wall,
Mhm.
or by the sea, I
Right.
should say, not the lake.
Yes.
Where
Where
you knock
seagulls
the is that
habitat.
where you knock the fish down to get the rats out of that corner?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, right before that.
So you learn about Arno. He's a former knight for Count Victor Arl, the guy who's been chasing you basically this entire game.
And that he was
Uh,
also technically in the first game, but you
was
never
he?
saw him.
I guess that's true because he tells you he was in Guyenne at some point. Uh, so you finally reach the coast, and when you make it to the coast, it's fucking gorgeous. It's great looking scenery there. And then there's a moment where Hugo like runs through the birds, and the birds are all like
Yeah.
flying
Hugo
away
and
and stuff.
Arnold, I have a very fucking good like connection right off the bat. Like Hugo's just loving him. And
Yeah,
he's
that's why
very
it's
good
super
with
annoying
him.
when
Like,
Amicia is like such a bitch to him because it's like I
yeah.
get it, he
And like
smoked you in
these
the
two are
head and
just
like
bonding like instantaneously.
yeah.
He like picks
Uh,
him up and carries him to one point. And
yep. And Arno tells you at this point, you know, that he was a knight back in Guyenne. He starts asking you where you guys are from, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I used to be back there." And then he had a friend who was killed back there. That's kind of what led him to where he
well,
is
that's this
now.
the shield. Yeah, the shield is from his buddy.
Yeah. This is where you move the boat. Uh, then Arno almost gets taken out by rats, and Hugo has to like move them over to like this little fish shack. We have to drop the fish so the fish can eat the rats can eat the fish, so they don't attack you guys because everybody knows that they're gonna eat that fish for 15 minutes while you're walking away. And then you get to
Making
the
it last.
caves coming through here, and these caves are like crazy.
Did you
There's
find
rats
the art for
everywhere.
the caveman art in the cave?
I don't think I did.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
find art from like the first civilization.
yep. It's just a
Yeah,
bunch of handprints on a fucking wall, but it's a
yeah,
pretty long go around. Like you got to go up and then you go back like a good chunk and then down. But yeah,
yeah.
there's like that's all that's in there. There's no pieces or anything. It's just a
Yeah, it's a
souvenir.
memory that you can
Yeah.
collect. We really haven't talked about, but there's all kinds of like little memories and stuff that you can find throughout this, like little interactions that you can have with characters. But it's just the three of you go to this cave painting, basically of handprints, and it's supposed to be the first civilization's prints or something.
Yeah. Arnold tells you about it.
Yeah. You make your way through the caves, you get split up, and then Episanguis comes back,
Yeah, and this isn't just caves. This is the first rat nest in this
Yeah.
game.
It's the poopy bile,
and
the secretion.
so you have to use the Episanguis to help Arno get back through like this rat infestation because you guys end up getting separated. And
He falls down or
he,
something stupid. Yeah. He falls off that
yeah,
ledge. Yeah.
yeah, you guys are shimmying across, and you can tell like it's gonna break. And then of course his big ass gets on it,
Yeah.
and it breaks because of course.
You know, he's got armor. He's a fat ass.
And you end up getting it back over. You see Episanguis and stuff, and then you end up having to shoot his shield with a
Yeah, the
fire
flaming
arrow.
bolts. You got to do that to
Yeah,
like the wood
Yeah,
earlier. But yeah, this is I like it when you shoot it with the shield and you actually use it and walk through because it's a persistent story thing where he's talking about how it burned and then he tells you like the crest and all that and about his friend.
yeah.
yeah. So right before you shoot a shield, you have to shoot like a plank of wood, but you shoot it with
Yeah.
Episanguis. And I shot it with fire, and then I was like, okay,
I
so
hit
it's gonna
off.
drop. It drops back down, and I'm like, okay, so I can run to that. I went and did that to be here, and I cannot move fast to get away from here because of all
Yeah.
the fucking sticky shit on the floor. So I died. And then this is the one bug I had when you're supposed to fire into a shield. He just didn't take his shield out. He was just standing like facing me with the shield still on his back. So I was like trying to aim my arrow at the little sliver of a shield I could see, and I fired, and it worked. Technically, he's like, "Oh yes, my shield's on fire now," and they all grouped together, but there was no arrow on fire, so we just walked into rats and died.
I think he did it on purpose. He's like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
kill myself and these kids.
Perfectly planned.
But as soon as you come out of that area, you're kind of on another shoreline, and you see this boat, and you can have this little interaction with Hugo, and he like wants to know what the name of the boat is, but you can't see because it's scratched off, and he's like, well, you can name it whatever you want. So he ends up calling it the Survivor. Um, and you end up learning more about because the whole point of going with Arno is he's trying to help you get to this island, and but to get there you need a boat, and you're trying to find this certain person. He won't really tell you that much about this person, but right here he does. He tells you that her name is Sophia, and she is the sea scorpion. She's basically just like
Pirate
pirate.
lady.
Yeah. So then you make your way through a bunch of more caves and rat
Yeah, this is
whatever
where you get all the torches. This
infestations.
area, yeah.
Yeah. Mixed in
And
with a lot of enemies. This is, I think, mechanically, like combat-wise, my favorite chapter so far. You've got the mix with Arnaud being able to run out and kill. Like, there's just so much at your disposal if you
yeah,
good to kind of be
once we get to that
dividing and
part, it was
conquering
just
everyone's skills. And
You just
once we
send
get to
Arno
where
out, and you get 2 people, and you just walk behind one of them and fucking strangle the fuck out of them.
yeah, I would just go up in front of him, hit him with the sling, and like stun him, and then just be like, Arno, kill that piece of shit, and then he would just come up and just one hit. They wouldn't even be a duel; just stab him. That's it.
I was
Cool.
like splitting them up or getting like killing one, trying to get to like one to send out to Arno to kill that last one. So it was like Hugo uses rats to kill one, and Amicia slingshots a helmetless one, and
Oh
then
yeah.
Arno goes out to kill a third. So it really felt like this moment of like all the teamwork kind of like coming together for.
Making the dream work.
Yeah, exactly. Felt really good.
Yeah.
Oh, I just sent Arnold out as bait and then strangled one, and he killed the other.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite combat part, just having access to Arno. Because even like later, the one armored guy that I did end up killing, I just sent Arno after him. And as long as I was keeping other people off of him, and the duel takes a while, but he'll still beat the armored guy, which is great.
Yeah, as long as he's not overpowered by more than one person.
Yeah. But I was still mostly being sneaky here, and then when I get caught, I would send Arno. Or like there was one time where there were like just 3 dudes about to group up on Arno, and I just threw tar and fire at them, not knowing if it would kill Arno or not, but it didn't. It just killed everyone else, which was nice.
So as you make your way through here, this is the water part that Tom was talking about, where Arno picks Hugo up and carries him across because he's too afraid to walk through the waves. He's just kind of scared of the water, and I mean, he's just trying to talk him through it, and he's not having it. So Arno just picks him up, carries him across, and she's like kind of being a dick about it still, but then she kind of relents, and so you kind of assume that their relationship is going to be better based off of what ends up
Yeah.
happening in the next chapter, which I thought this was weird. I was like, oh, they're all warming up to each other, and then that does not play out at all like I
Yeah.
thought it
Nope.
was going
Yeah, I
to.
Did
think
not go how you think it is.
south turn real quick.
Um, and this is when you come out and you start using Arno in the combat, which was a huge improvement. Which brings me to Caden commented on Twitter. Said, "I'm curious. Do you feel like all of Amicia's new lethal options undermine enemy encounter design compared to the first game? I'm finding little reason to bother interacting with the complex map design when I could stand in place and murder each enemy as they come. Specifically, using sling on helmetless enemies, crossbow, or fire pods, or on everything else." But I thought that would be a good comment for here, where I felt like it there was no stealth in this section for me. It was all I'm going to use Arno.
Oh, I stealth all the
I'm
way through the end boat part where you find Sophia. I stealth all the way to the end until that beast clone,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
I
you
murdered
just.
everybody. I had no problem. It was just
Oh.
it was
I
it
mean, I didn't have
wasn't
any
even
problem stealthing either, but just I stealth through the whole side.
Yeah, I think the game is going for more of a play your way kind of thing, where the first game it is a stealth game. You have to play it as a stealth game, and there's very little options once you're caught. Except like, panicking and maybe getting out of it. I think you can play this game your way once you have enough tools. You could kill everybody technically by, using crossbow bolts, and like even without Arno, just crossbow bolts and tar with Ignis, because it's not, or Ignifer, like it is not that hard to make tar and Ignifer, and it can kill anything so far. So
yeah. It is definitely a lot different from the first one though, where it's like the first one I felt like I was dying. I mean, y'all recorded that one. We know I died a fuck ton during that one. It just seemed like there was nothing I could do really. Whereas there's always a way for me to get out of whatever situation. I feel like I've had a lot easier time. So then we fight through the stormy beach, and there's all kinds of little puzzles and stuff here. And did you guys do the little puzzle where you have to come around the side and you pull the
the chest down.
the wood beam down to drop the chest, and then you have to get around all the rats? I died at that part a lot. I couldn't
Yeah.
get those rats away from that
Oh,
fucking
I
Yeah.
chest.
didn't do that till after I killed the last boss, and I saw it, and I pulled it down, and there was nothing there. I walked up.
Uh, I
I had a
killed
bunch of rats there.
I also had to do that part a couple times. And it was always after I had killed the beast clone or whatever, and then I would pull the thing down and I'd try to go over to it, and the checkpoint there is pretty bad. Like most
Yeah,
of
it's
the checkpoints in this
terrible.
game are incredibly generous, and it's great, but the
Oh, really?
checkpoint
I thought
there
the
goes
checkpoints
back to
here are like a lot of the checkpoints will set you so far back that you haven't like the herbalist one in general. Like, all of a sudden I would be back farther, and I would never open that chest that's behind you in that church, and I'd always have to go back, open up the fucking chest,
That
and
happened
go
to me a
back
couple of
out.
times.
And I was like, "What the
That did
fuck is
happen to me.
going on?"
Yeah, that is definitely annoying when you have to reopen chest or whatever. Although I haven't done testing, I feel like if you like grab pieces or something and then you die and you grab the same piece, you're getting them double, so you could probably farm
No,
pieces that way.
no, you
No?
weren't because I'd have to every time I'd have to make the same amount of stuff to get
Okay.
through that area. So I'd
Okay.
always have like 9 of them, and then I would die and go, like trying to save the herbalist. I go back and I'd have to get that chest so I could make them all again.
But yeah, how did you eventually get that chest, Tyler? Because I just had to
Yeah.
use the whatever the stinky shit is that distracts them, whatever that's called. I just had to use a whole bunch of
I
that.
I use Hugo and I move them to another area and I block them in with fire.
Mm, that makes
And it
Weird,
sense.
works.
because yeah, when I went back after killing the beast guy, there wasn't. Although I did kill one of that soldier down there, and I think they were just eating him because I used them to eat him.
There was
And I pulled that.
also there was
There was nothing there blocking me from getting that chest.
so where the chest is like say it's like in the middle. If you're looking at the screen, this is not going to be good if you're just listening to the audio version. It's like in the middle. There is like a fish hanging from a hook over on the right hand side, and I did drop that down to get those ones on the right to like attack that. And then I took there were two other small groups that I moved
Yeah,
away
because
and
there's that
blocked
guy
those
that
in with
does the
fire.
patrol that goes all the way up and down. And he's got that glass lantern, and I broke his lantern, and
Yeah,
then the rats ate him, so they were eating him, and I just pulled that chest down. I just walked up to it.
there you go. That's probably what you need to do. It's the easier way to do it.
So many ways.
uh,
There's a game.
yeah, so there is like one of those beast type guards blocking the door that has like the little flame mace thing, and you kill him. You get into the door, and Amicia stays behind to rest because her head is still fucking swimming like crazy, and she can only do so much. And so Arno and Hugo go off, and as you're coming in, Sophia is actually running at this point because we've met her. I guess I glossed over that fact. We did meet her at this point, and she tells you that she'll take you out on the ship. I guess her and Arno have like some backstory where he owes or she owes him a favor because
Yeah.
he saved
He
her
was
life
supposed
at
to.
some point.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed. He was supposed to kill her, and he didn't.
Yeah,
Like, he was ordered to kill her, and he didn't. He saved her life,
yeah.
which is probably why
But they have
what's
a
his name
very
doesn't like him.
tumultuous relationship. Um,
Voltuous.
that's right. So while she's like sitting there resting, Sophia comes in. She's getting chased by a guard, and Amicia just fucks this guard up
Murder.
hardcore. Like, just super murders him, stabs him in the back,
Yeah,
flips
because
him
then she's like,
over.
"Oh, I guess I owe you now," and you're like, "Oh, you don't owe me anything." And she's like, "Yes, that's
Yeah,
not
well,
how
she
it
tells
works."
her that she hates owing people.
Yep.
Um, and that's when she tells you about how Arno, saved her
Yeah.
by like not killing her when he was supposed to. And then so you and Sophia go meet with Arno and Hugo. You're trying to get her ship off is dry docked by the knights, the same ones that have been chasing this entire time so far. They put her boat on the dry dock, and so you have to get it unhooked because they got the sails all chained up. They got
Yeah, it's just a lot of sling.
the anchor chained across where they can't raise the anchor up to leave. Um, and at this point, Amicia tells Arno, she takes him aside and tells Arno that Hugo is dying. And then he gets all sad and melancholy about the whole thing, and it's like, well, fuck, we gotta like help this kid. Um, and then you get the boat unstuck, and then Hugo makes a joke about being a pirate, becoming a
A lot
pirate.
of jokes about being a pirate. He's really fascinated with this fucking ship.
Loves it. And that
Pirate's life for
is the
him.
end of the chapter. As you sail away, the chapter ends and fades to black. And then we are on the last chapter for this section, which is chapter 8, A Sea of Promises.
Is it
This
promises or just
whole
promise?
promises.
I have
Multiple
Sea of
promises.
Promise.
I think it's promises.
I have promises.
You're wrong.
We'll agree to disagree.
Uh, here is a lot of talking. You go up and talk to Hugo about the island, and then you talk about the ship's tools, and you can take him down into like the hangar area, and you can show him all kinds of different maps and stuff like that. You can talk to Arno about his shield, and he tells you more about what that shield means to him, and the fact, like, she talks to him about it being burnt and that it's taken damage before, and then it's like sturdy and all this shit. He has to help you with the sails because the sails they have to change direction, so you each get on one side of the sails and pull them to course correct. Um, Sophia lets you steer the ship at one point, and there's a really sweet interaction between Amicia and Sophia about being on the ship.
A lot of
Just a
weird
lot of
interactionable things, like just look at
yeah,
here's
just
treasure.
uh,
Oh, look at this. Yeah.
a lot of small jovial talk. Like everybody's in pretty high spirits, and it's sunny, and just it's all good. Like it's the exact opposite of how pretty much the most of this game has been up to this point.
And it'll all
And then
change.
and I don't ever remember them saying the name of this island until they're on the ship. You guys
I don't think
ever
they have
remember them
because
saying it?
he didn't know what the island was called. I think
But but
Ar-
Arlo
then they
said
call it.
something
Arno had a name
earlier.
for it when they met
Yeah, he knew
him,
what it was.
but
Yeah,
before
he
that, we
calls it
didn't have a name.
Lacuna.
Yeah.
So,
Lacuna
but
Matata.
it's not until on the ship where he says Lacuna, though, right?
I think
I
he
don't
said a point in
remember.
chapter
He may
7.
have said it
Did
earlier,
he?
but yeah, I probably glossed right over it. I don't know that I paid attention.
Okay. Well, Lacuna, and it pops up Lacuna Matata. Am I right? And
Wow. Tom definitely didn't make that joke a minute ago.
No. Did he?
Not
I
even.
did not hear him. Fuck you,
It
Tom.
was like 20 seconds.
Hear it. See, it's just I had it written down. It's just you reading it. It's like that's a great one. This one's gonna kill. It's gonna kill him.
Lay at him. Hey, guess
But
what? We're gonna
you
come
see
to
the
another
island.
fair.
You get on the island. Hugo gets a little flower crown, and I wrote as soon as we step off, I said Lacuna seems like a fucking cult hotel. This
Yeah,
is-
like
Yeah, there's
immediately these people
immediately
are like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
They're like,
Yeah.
ooh, little kid, yes.
Ooh, kids
This is-
are like they're so
Yeah.
precious.
we love kids.
What
It's
is
like
Our
the
child of
Yeah.
embers.
Yeah, the child of embers. Yep.
Child of Embers.
And then Sophia stays behind. She's like, fuck this place. I'm gonna hang out on my
I'm trying to
boat
think.
where I'm safe.
What was that movie with Florence Pugh that came out like a year ago, 2 years ago?
Black Widow.
No, it's a horror movie, and this is what it reminded me of. They're like in Sweden or some kind of. Well, it doesn't matter.
I know what you're talking
But-
about, but once again, I
Yeah.
I own it on Voodoo. I'll let you know. Keep going.
Okay, thank you. But you get into Lacuna, and it's like Tom said. There's
We're
like
talking about
another festival. Midsummer. There
yeah.
you go.
Yep.
And there's all kinds of shit that you can do. You can feed a goat, which there's a very funny little interaction with that, where Hugo goes to feed the goat, and it goes to like it bleats at him, and it scares the shit out of him, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And Amici's like, "Yeah, it's called bleeding." He goes, I don't like these fuckers. They suck."
And then rats come and eat him. That'll teach
Right.
you, you fucking goat.
You can throw the ball into
Through the throw
hoops,
pots
the
through
fl-
the fucking the lays or
yeah,
whatever.
that's what it is. Yeah, you can throw the pots through the flower
The
wreaths. And you get
second
a 10
pot
feet.
game.
That's right.
I did that one.
You can go through the town and you see the market and all the parades. That
Yeah, you
And
end up
then-
following the singers or whatever.
yeah, you
Parade.
follow them all, and then Arno ends up coming across the count. And Arno had made a deal with Hugo when he saved him that he would kill the count for him if they ran into him. So like,
Which was never
Hugo has
mentioned
to-
prior.
No, because you knew nothing about it. So Hugo is supposed to use the rats, control the rats to kill the count, and Amicia was not having any of that shit, and she took Hugo and just ran away and let Arno just like fight the count and his guards. It was like, peace, we're out of here.
Which is weird because you run away just to run back to fucking like betray him and stop the fighting.
Yeah, and I have that written down, and it's like, so you leave. It's like, okay, now you go back after like some consideration to go and help him. And then Amicia just ends up like pulling a giant thing of decorations down on top of him while he's fighting the
Yeah.
count. And they're just like, all right, fuck you.
Oh, but
Yeah,
you
I don't think Amicia's intention was ever to help him. Amicia's intention was to
to stop. Yeah.
stop the fight so that they could stay there in peace. Because like Hugo is like breaking down, like, why can't anything ever stay nice? And she's
Mhm.
like, we're gonna make it nice again by helping the
But
count and getting on their good side.
you skipped the Falcon.
Falcon stealth.
Falcon.
Yeah. Which was easy. It was just fun
Yeah,
watching
I
the
liked
bird.
it.
I got
You
stuck
literally
on
just have
this.
to throw something and then just run.
Yeah, it took me like 5 minutes. I forgot I could vault over cover sometimes, so
Oh, I
I
just
just
ran.
kept going back and forth. Like, where the hell do they want me to go?
Yeah, literally, if you throw something, you can run like 2 cover positions before you have to get back behind anything. And the bird is so fucking stupid. Doesn't
I
matter.
was like, it's telegraphed so much. It's just like,
Yeah.
okay, it flew past me, run. Flew past me, run. Flew past
Yep.
me, run. That was it.
Yeah, I died once because I threw a pot at, or not a pot, a rock at like a distraction area or whatever, but it was a distraction area that was the way I was going. I was like, oh, it's distracted.
just
And then
ran
ran
right
right
into
into
it.
it.
Same thing happened to me. Yeah,
I died once because I didn't realize the hawk was gonna fucking bite my neck out as soon as I stood up.
just
I
immediately.
thought it was gonna be like, with a lot of the encounters, you get hit, you're stunned, and then if you get
Oh.
hit again, you're dead. Instead, it was
Now I
like,
wish I would have
Right for the eyes.
died at that area so I could see myself get my throat ripped up. by a
yeah, the
falcon.
hawk just tears your fucking throat out, basically.
There's probably more
it's horrible.
falcons.
Damn it. Yeah,
It
that's
lingers
probably
on you for like 20 seconds. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, and then she's
ripping
like
everything out.
trying to hold her throat in, and Hugo's crying, and then he shits himself. You missed a whole thing. It was crazy.
Mommy! Mommy!
Yeah. And then the rats come and they drink your blood. It's crazy.
And then you become Batman.
So then the Count and Arno are like talking. He's like, I'm gonna fuck these kids up now. And then this random person, Emily, shows up, and I guess
He was
this-
talking about her earlier.
Yeah.
She was the whoever they were waiting
She's
for
the mother.
The mother.
initially. Yes.
don't remember them ever saying anything about this woman until she shows up.
Oh yeah.
then-
The whole point, they're like right when Arno wants him to kill him with the rats. That's what he's talking about up there.
Yeah.
She'll be here shortly. Blah blah blah.
Speak.
They were talking
Oh, when
about her
you mean when he's talking to like everybody?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
right
Yeah,
before
see, I
Arno decided he wants to
I
fuck him
didn't
up.
catch that like she was like the maiden or whatever main person.
The
that they
mother
were
of the
waiting
child
for.
of Ember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The mother of the cult.
The cult leader. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the Count, super whipped, like the most whipped human being I've ever seen in my life. As soon as like she comes out, he's like, "Yep, whatever you say, absolutely."
Got it, dear.
That just it reiterates the fact that she is probably super evil.
Yeah.
Not a good lady.
sure. So you talk to the Count, and then eventually you're invited to their big ass fucking house to stay, which was like you are trusting these people already.
Yeah.
I don't get that, but that's fine.
They're super excited. They're really nice to them. That's probably why nobody's being
Yeah.
nice to them ever.
He's like Emily's going on about the Child of Embers, and they're the
Hugo
cult. You
sees
get-
the fucking phoenix in that like statue.
yeah, and you go and
That's
pray
the
at the
bird
statue.
from my dreams.
But then she like lets you eat dates and shit. Like she's really trying to butter these kids up. It was like the witch in the woods for Hansel and Gretel. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
she's
That's
gonna
how I
eat
felt.
them. Once they get in there,
Yeah.
she's gonna throw them into a fucking oven and start fucking.
Yeah.
But I love this part.
Oh, I feel like they're gonna have some weird ritual with Hugo being the child of Embers or something. Like
Oh,
they're gonna
yeah.
set Hugo on fire.
Yeah, they're gonna try and burn them or fucking
Yeah.
do something. Yeah.
Well, they even say at one point where they see themselves as the mother and father of the Child of Embers. So it's like I think they know that Hugo's got the macula, and they can sense that in him. And like when they said, "Oh, we are his mother and father," is like, I don't think so. But there's this really cool part with that statue where they're like, "Oh, let's pray at the statue of the Child of
Hmm.
Emperor or whatever." And Amicia is like, "Oh, can we say a prayer for our father?" And as like she's like, "Yeah, I'll just come over there when you're done." And like she pulls Hugo to the side and is like whispering to him, like, "Listen, don't trust these fuckers. We just got to do what we got to do, and we're gonna get through this." And then it's like, she is not 100% trusting of the situation, which is like, okay, at least there's somebody here.
Was like earlier when you're trying to figure out where the fucking island is, like, well, don't say it too well. And you're just like talking, oh, there's like the fucking water and there's the tree.
Yeah,
And they're like, what the fuck? There's water and
What is
trees
that?
everywhere. You're fucking stupid.
Yeah,
and
it's interesting that just before Arno betrays us, we told him about the dream, that this was all like based on a dream and shit.
Hmm.
And
yeah,
now he's like on the other side of it, which we're almost to the end here, but I do want to talk about like what you guys think is going to happen with that, because they tell you, or the count tells you, that you can testify on his behalf.
Yep.
yeah.
If
I
you so choose.
he's gonna rat you out for sure.
Yeah, that's the
I
thing, is
mean,
like, is it better for Hugo and Amicia to be there and try to help him or not? Because if they are there and they try to help him, if he like sees that, maybe he's not going to rat you out. I feel like if you're not there, you're for sure getting ratted out, but you're not there, so it's not like you're in immediate danger. You're somewhere else on the island.
yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be bad either way.
Yeah, we'll see if there's even a choice mechanic. It may just
Oh, I doubt there's choice. Yeah.
CG you right to it, and you're like, oh, yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's one of those things where at this point I have no idea where it's gonna go because it's like, what are Emily and the Count gonna do? What's Arno and Sophia gonna do?
I'm
And what
guessing
are
Amicia or Hugo, one of them is dying. That's how this game's going to
but then
end.
it's like, uh, her mom and Lucas. They also have that boat still, so it's like, are they gonna end up meeting them out there at Lacuna?
I think Lucas
Yeah,
is going to be a little bitch and fucking betray you. Be like, oh, we got the order, and they're just going to fucking murder Hugo.
it's just there's a lot of threads that they could go down. It's interesting.
Yeah, we still got
But
half the game left.
chapter 8 ends with Emily and them telling you to get some food, and then she says, "Try the beds; they're extra bouncy." And
Oh,
then
try
Hugo
jumping on
and
the bed. Yeah. He wants her to
yeah,
jump on the bed like little kids.
and then
Which
Hugo
then
and
I looked
Amicia,
away and didn't realize I was on the next chapter until I pressed pause, and I was like, oh. And I turned off my system.
yeah, I immediately was like, off.
Yeah, I didn't know because I was like getting a drink or something. I'm like, okay, I'll just listen to all. So I came over to my computer and I just grabbed something. And I looked back and they were like waking up, and I was like, okay. And I hit start and I'm like, oh, this is the 9.
Yeah.
Turn off.
I waited until I had control. Oh
Tyler.
God.
Tyler said, you
God.
know what? Fucking
You know
podcast
what?
is over. I'm
We
out.
almost finished recording, but now I want to make some for Ryan. That's what Tyler said.
And he's like, you know what? I'll come back for a little bit, but fuck you guys.
Tyler,
Well, that was embarrassing.
I agree. You should
He
be
thought
very
we were
proud.
done, so he just turned his computer off. He's like, "Yeah, fuck."
I accidentally
Yeah.
clicked out of a window.
Fucking
I
idiot.
not mean to click out of.
It wasn't
Just
even
hit
an
the
internet.
X on, yep, and I just hit X on Discord. Oh, fuck
No,
that. Oh, shit.
You
I
can just leave all this in, actually, Ryan.
I just
my
might.
notes. I had my notes
I
up,
don't know
or
why we wouldn't.
my iCloud notes were up, and I was like, well, fuck, I don't need that anymore. And I went to go click it, and I did not click the right one.
Very on brand for us.
Oh, that's it. That's the end of chapter 8. We're bouncing on the beds. We're waking up.
Woo!
All right. What else? We got any final thoughts? Final predictions going into chapters 9 through 16?
I think Hugo and Amicia live, Tom. I think the Count's the final big bad.
I think the mother's the final big bad.
That's probably a better bet, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Or somebody from the order. I think Lucas is going to be a fucking more of a little bitch.
yeah, I mean, I feel like we have to see the mother and Lucas again, and the only way I can see them coming into the story at this point is if they come
Bring
to
the
the
order.
island on a boat, in which case they're
Yeah.
probably bringing the order.
Yep.
I think they're going to save Amicia and Hugo from the Count. They're going to be, Count and them are going to be holding them up. It's going to be the Alchemist versus the Cult. And then Arno's gonna be in there. He's gonna try to end up saving Hugo. Amicia is fucking dying. Amicia's dead.
Yeah,
End of
I
the game.
either see Amicia dying to save Hugo, or Hugo just fucking going too far into the macula and
Amicia
dying.
100% is dying. Hugo's gonna live. Hold it.
Like everybody dies and the world ends in a rat plague. Just kidding. I don't think that's how they would end their series.
There's gonna be a volcano on Lacuna. It's gonna erupt with fucking rats and just
That would be a great piece. Fuck
that
yeah.
would be so fucking awesome though.
Turn into an asteroid and fly to the moon.
Maybe we finally get a
Or-
happy scene where we defeat the mother, and that's when the alchemists show up. As like we come, like they get there while we find the island. Hugo's healed, and we get to be like, "Fucking told you so." He didn't have to die.
Or
then he does
Amicia
die.
ends up taking the macula on herself, somehow transferring it to her body, and then she controls the rats
By
and then she
eating his
just-
heart.
And then
I
she
was
just
thinking maybe
fucking
intercourse
lays
is the only
wait.
way to transfer. It's like an STD.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Oh,
Oh,
keep going. These are good predictions,
Poison
guys.
from the wound.
So we'll
Hey,
be back
listen, this
in-
is the Middle Ages. Like, didn't they
Tom,
marry
we're
off,
ending.
like
Shut up.
children at like
over.
10?
Too late. It's over.
I watched Game of Thrones. I know what's happening.
We'll be back in 2 weeks to finish the game, November the 16th.
Fuck, that's close to
Everything.
Thanksgiving.
And that's right. I'm so thankful that we can finish this game and be done and move on.
Wow.
Wow. Not
I'm
enjoying the game,
thankful
Tyler.
Wow,
We're all
are we
back
playing
together.
Chris Tales again? What the hell?
No, this is better than Chris Tales. Come on. I'm thankful that by the next time I record, I'll have my fucking floors installed in this house.
You don't know that.
Gonna get delayed
You
again.
can't
I
say
do.
it like that. You're gonna jinx it.
A good word.
Well,
Jinxed.
so the 16th, what was that? The 16th.
I
Everything
already
and
said it.
anything
So
up to the end of the game. We will be back. We'll see you there. Same time, same bat channel. All right.
I like
anything
when
else to
Tyler
plug?
says things and sets them in stone. And we
Shut
don't actually
the
know.
Fuck up.
Like, you know what? We're gonna do Chris Tales. What? Okay, I guess we're doing Chris
Yes.
Tales now.
It's all your fault, you son of a bitch.
Hey, you guys
I
didn't
could've
vote on
done
anything.
Neo, but no.
So that's our outro now. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
There's Tom. Only if Tom's
Suck on
talking.
this
If Tom's
bullet.
talking, you got it. All right. Anything else to plug? Chris,
I think we ended that.
Yeah.
did we?
It's
Stop recording.
I don't know.
Great.
This is great B footage.
Great outro.
still recording.
And that was all right, we're still recording? Fuck, it's like almost 3 hours.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
2:24.
This is like
Oh,
And
I
that's
forgot we started
normal.
trimmed.
A little bit late, yeah.
yeah, and somebody
Not
kept.
bad, not bad.
OBS went crazy. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna
Me,
click stop
accidentally
recording.
clicking out, fuck shit up.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Thanks for
Okay,
listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.